Buddy, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill whoever's calling me at this hour, bro. God, fucking. Hello?
おじさん、
はるか。
おじさん、助けて。町が、カムロ町が。壊れちゃう。壊れちゃうよ。
Buddy, what the fuck is going on in Chicago? This is Yakuza Dead Souls, a third-person shooter game released during the summer of 2011, exclusively for the PlayStation 3. A very tumultuous time period in the world. From a nuclear power plant being destroyed by an earthquake and a tsunami, causing millions of unknown chemicals to spill into the Pacific Ocean, as well as thousands of people without their homes, to the PlayStation Network being DDoS attacked, causing at that time one of the biggest data breaches in human history, to some guy getting buck-ass naked in the middle of a San Diego street, and yeah, I still don't know what Kony 2012 was about, but anyway. If you're pretty well versed in the Yakuza series, many a fan will often give you the speech about how this game pretty much killed the entire series in the West, and damn near killed it in its home country of Japan as well. The first time I learned about Dead Souls, and really my first-hand experience with this, was back when I was a casual Yakuza lad. I happened to come across the comments of a video titled Strongest Ubisoft Game vs. Weakest RGG Studios Entry by a man by the name of Hot Chili? Food? It's a funny little video joking about how a micromanaged $1 million title made in an office building is less impressive and lacks any real soul in its final boss encounter compared to a low-budget game developed by around 1 to 200 people in an office the size of a school cafeteria. That shit is called Yakuza 3, baby. Obviously, as it tends to happen to most satirical shitpost videos, it went a bit viral, summoning thousands of unnamed autistic people to overanalyze it and say, based. I'm autistic people, by the way. But anyway, looking through the comments section, I noticed a brave few mentioned a game that I had never heard before pertaining to the weakest RGG entry, who said that the actual worst rated game in the Yakuza series is a little game called Yakuza Dead Souls. And I said to myself out loud that day, what the fuck is Yakuza? Oh my god. Jesus Christ. But I digress. I hadn't even played the entire game series yet. It's one of those games that I'd have to come back to later, so if you guys will excuse me, I have to go play the rest of the series. So after a while I started playing the series, and I came to a massive realization. These old Yakuza games are fucking awesome. And as I sat there in my orc chair on the PlayStation 3 store one night on Christmas Day 2023, I truly wondered to myself, if people are wrong about Yakuza 3 and 4 not being good when they're actually awesome, then I wonder, could they also be wrong about, well, let's find out. Our story begins on April 1st, an infamous day with its synonymous event typically known as Collection Day. This is carried out by a loan shark, a little man by the name of SHUN AKIYAMA, who, alongside his secretary Hana, runs a loan company called Sky Finance, a company that pays zero interest for those truly seeking that cold hard cash. But it's not exactly easy to upkeep a business such as this. While he does give some cash to a poor soul, it's not exactly the easiest thing, as Akiyama has set up a series of tests for people to pass so he can see if he can trust them or not. Some have ultimately passed his tests. No coincidence that some of them are bad bitches. This is Akiyama's second game that he's returning from after his debut in Yakuza 4. And, well, he's still as lazy as ever, which we see when... Oh. Holy shit. I know what kind of woman you are. We see Hana, Akiyama's secretary, who reminds him that today is Collection Day, which Akiyama forgot again. Buddy, how could you? She also reveals that she's pregnant. Well, as typical in the concrete jungle here in Kamurocho, it doesn't take long before the freaks come out at night, including this guy, a tweaker. Tweaker here wants to burn down Kamurocho as fast as humanly possible, and well, not too long after, he sets off the first match right in front of Akiyama and Hana. Akiyama and Hana quickly learn a revelation that Tweaker has infected people to turn into monsters. We see his hegemony unfold right before us. Akiyama instinctively does the one thing any warrior would do upon a man dropping his gun after trying to fire at them. Akiyama holds his weapon highly, vehemently decreeing that the zombies take their surrender, or... What are you doing, man? Wait, what are you doing? What the fuck? Well, instinctively, Akiyama flees, like a bitch, making things infinitely worse for himself upon trapping himself amongst the hungry denizens. But, luckily for us, my man finally decides to grow a pair, saying that he's not gonna cash out just yet. And here's where the first tutorial begins. Welcome to God. This is where they decide to teach you some of the basic elements that this game has to offer. It's pretty hardcore shit, man, but here's the basic sauce. R1 to shoot, square to reload, L1 to strafe, and L2 to aim precisely for that little shot. So yeah, pretty hardcore shit. But if you want some of the more dark truths of the gameplay, then unfortunately I'll have to save them for another time. I will unveil them shortly, because much like Akiyama and Hana, it is best to get back to the office as soon as humanly possible. Which, well, one of us does. Oh yeah, this is probably a good time to mention, by the way. If you haven't already noticed, this dialogue is extremely different from what you may have been used to with some of the more modern-day Yakuza games. We're talking about that lame-ass Pokemon Jelly Donut type shit. Which, yeah, I don't really like that at all. If I'm buying a Japanese game to see Japanese people do Japanese shit, the last thing I need is a fucking little American skinny white boy telling himself, oh yeah, let's change that, bro. No, Americans need that. Fuck you, man. Fuck, I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna eat you. Then I'm gonna fuck your wife. So, as Akiyama and Hana make their way into the Sky Finance office, they both decide that they are going to stay in for the night. Probably for the best. I mean, Hana probably can't make it out there on her own, man. She needs some protection, and I got her. So yeah, this little rudimentary situation will probably get handled by the army anyway, just in the morning, so we'll figure it out. Alright, so the army didn't handle shit. Typical. Anyway, time for the devil to send some of his poor, unfucked soldiers for me to do some nice, wholesome things with. Now it's time for another tutorial, it seems, from God. This time we gotta lab dodging, kicking, and using blunt weapons. Dodging is great, but kicking and using weapons is honestly really fucking useless in this game. I don't really know what advantage using blunts would get you if I can just pull out the blicky with infinite ammo, but I respect it. We can't leave out our boy after all, but I don't know. I think it would have been cooler if you got more XP upon using blunt weapons like Yakuza 2, which would have made for a good risk-reward system, but yeah, otherwise it's kinda ass. Well, the door is now fucked. Looks like the naked office is exposed. It seems like Akiyama and Hana will have to move down to New Serena. All we gotta do is carry this nice woman down the stairs. Haha! An easy task for a god such as me. Oh, God, please. Okay. Okay, we got, okay. Oh. Oh, look at that. We found a key. It's here at New Serena where Akiyama unlocks a revelation. Quite a few, actually. The first is that somehow, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure Date didn't pay the bills for this piece of shit last year, this place still has power. Not only that, we learn of a dark revelation. That Hana has the sniffy whiffies. Fuck. Fuck.
I will do whatever it takes. I swear to God.
Give me about an hour. Well, if it's medicine that she needs, then we'll need to get to Dr. Emoto's office, which is west of Taihei Boulevard. But it's not exactly a cakewalk from hell. Thanks to this infection, it looks like a goddamn tornado came through and thoroughly turned Tenkaichi Street into a desolated whore! Which means we're going to have to find some exploratory ways to navigate towards Taihei Boulevard. Thank God, this is where the game teaches you about the skill system. It's largely not too different from the Shinji Ta system from Yakuza 2. Basically, to explain, put the shit in the fucking, and boom, you have a new skill. Only difference is, it's now much more streamlined, only having combat and basic abilities, which are universal across all characters much like Yakuza 4. Our first skill is just literally aimbot. Yup, steadily aim for 2 seconds at the zombie's head, and pop that shit like a fucking balloon. This shit is literally 9/11 for the zombie race. They should not have given me this, bro. Alright, I'm bored. Let's talk about the combat a little bit. What music do I use for the... Oh! Now, if you want a basic diagnosis of this combat from Dr. Wu, it's decent. I don't know. Obviously, Dead Souls is not like its mainline brother series. Instead of being an action, beat-em-up game, this time around it's an arcade shooter akin to something like Sega's House of the Dead series, in which it takes a bit from. But unlike House of the Dead or any shooter, this game is much, much simpler. Shoot the zombie, win, go to the next one. It's about as fucking boring as you'd expect. The only major difference from other zombie games is something called the snipe gauge. Similar to the heat gauge, whenever killing or headshotting zombies, you'll fill up what's known as the snipe gauge, a dead-eye ass stance where you pick up a list of targets like cars or explosive barrels, do a nice little QTE, and watch the show. Down at its core though, besides that, it is quite a simple gameplay loop with a number of problems. For example, simple things like moving and turning the camera is easily some of the worst controls I have ever had to deal with. Legit, throughout this entire video, you will see me suffer despite my best efforts to learn this game. This game feels and plays like it was programmed by 12 hungry fat Luna Snow players with AIDS. I might be one of those. These problems plague this game from being an otherwise fine shoot 'em up, but you know, I can't lie. Honestly, despite its ratchetness, I kinda like it. I've had trouble thinking of comparisons, but honestly, the best I can give you for this game is just some fucking dirty old white lawn gloves. They're stiff, they make your hands calloused, and they fucking sting. But man, they get the job done. And sometimes that's all you need in life, man. And sure, while the character action, I don't know, might as well be hack and slash by this point too. While those games are infinitely better when it comes to depth and giving a diverse amount of options for a variety of players, with things like weapons and a surprisingly deep learning curve for some crazy ass motherfuckers, at the end of the day, I don't really think Dead Souls is too offensive, honestly. While it's extremely rough around the edges, I still gain almost a sick pleasure from this game. Not that I want to bury my head in the sand and act all delusional or anything, but as you've heard before from Weenop and creepy old men who paint wood planks, comparison is the thief of joy. While this combat is complete goopy muck, at the same time, I cannot lie to you once again, I also can't say I've ever not felt downright ill while playing this game, like other shooters. Oh hey, what were we doing? Oh yeah. So, as Akiyama approaches Imoto's office, we learn of a dark secret, that Imoto's office has been blocked. That's right. Akiyama discovers an odious wall placed down by God himself, which is conveniently placed just 20 feet outside of Dr. Imoto's building. During my rumination, a random Yakuza grunt named Nagahama shows up. That's right, baby. He informs Akiyama that we have been shut out by the army, shanghaied, a coke left out in the sun. Oh, gee, oh, no. And while he's a little confrontational at first, he's still kind enough to help a brother out.
本気で言ってんじゃないよな。
その代わり抜け道へ案内してやる。俺があんたをここから脱出させてやるよ。
Nagahama mentions that there's a safe house not too far from here under Kamuro Theater, touting that there might be some gins hidden for us, if we choose to go with him. Yeah, Hana-chan's gonna have to hold out a little longer, bro, because I gotta fucking... Down in the DVD shop, Nagahama and his fucking boys do indeed follow up on their promise, showing me that fat heat. They should not have given me this shit. Hold the fuck up. Go, wait. Hello, nurse. Oh, yes. Oh, this is, Hasegawa? Hasegawa, correct? Okay. Anyway. Anyway, so this is Hasegawa, a research scientist, I guess? I don't know, man. She really needs us to gather information on these little fuckers, not just to exploit a weakness, but to also figure out a possible cure. While it's an interesting proposal to him, Akiyama is quite skeptical, saying that he might consider, but he also doesn't outright trust her. Very good character development after what happened with him in Kido and Yakuza 4, I should mention. Going back to this though, to explain all of this in basic English, she is a MacGuffin of sorts for a mode that we will get back to in a second. I'm pretty sure that's not what MacGuffin means. I don't listen, man. Now, going back to the DVD shop, a dark truth is once again revealed to us. For whatever reason, this DVD shop has enough weapons to outfit a small militia. And the good news is, we got first pick. You're goddamn skippy we do, boy. As if you needed to figure out how, this is where they decide to teach you about how to equip your weapon. And let me tell ya, it's not as grand as something like RE4. You got 4 slots to put various weapons and grenades in. It's about as simple as it gets. Speaking of simple, while I do love a sophisticated new balalaika SMG or an urbane set of Macedonian twin pistols, truth be told, I'm a simple man. I like my big gun that go boom, which is why we'll be equipping the beautiful, the luscious. Boom, bitch! Going back up through Theater Square, we can finally see what the circus has to offer us. First up is the Musclehead. Meathead is quite the fucked up individual, as you can probably imagine. So fucked up that the only way to damage him is through headshots, and let me tell ya, good fucking luck, pal. Unlike with standard head tracking, you gotta raw dog these bitches with no auto aim. A tragedy you'll only get playing on the DualShock 3. Luckily, Nagoshi-sama spares us the tedium and allows us to use the full potential of the snipe gauge. That's right. Not only can you deadeye on cars and barrels, but you can also deadeye on the mutant class zombies as well. Just make sure to look out for that clear as day blinding green prompt and fire away. Shit will save you the time of awkwardly aiming for a total of 15 seconds on your playthrough. Yeah, they float. Oh, God. That fucking piece of shit ruined my reputation with the kids, bro. Fuck that guy. I'm gonna find him one day, bro. Oh, he's probably dead, actually. Whatever. Alright, so, the sewer. The sewers are about as simple as it gets when it comes to this gameplay here. It is basically the dungeon system for this game. And by dungeon, I mean it's the exact same thing as above ground, except it's tighter and it's also dark, which is why you'll need a flashlight. Luckily, the homie Nagahama got our back though. Hell yeah, I love this guy very hard. It's what I live for, man. As we traverse this here sewer, we find ourselves in the midst of another mutant, a screamer. Now on the surface, she can be quite intimidating and loud, but despite all of that loud nature, she's as brittle as a cracker. Fucking bitch. I should probably also mention the partner system, which gets introduced in the dungeon right here. Now, to be completely honest with you, I don't really use the partner system a whole lot. See, throughout the game you'll get various partners like Nagahama here that will follow you around and help you out for certain sections such as this. But I gotta be honest, man, historically, the friend AI sucks complete dick in this series. You're honestly better off just letting them die and doing everything by yourself because it is not very much worth it. What makes this even more arduous and even more exhausting is that in order to heal them, you need to use some Habanero G. But the problem is, the heals take up precious slots that I otherwise need for items, self-healing, and ammo. And keep in mind, I'm in New Game Plus. When you start out in this game, you only have like 10% of inventory space unlocked. So, sorry buddy. Fucking sorry pal. Get your own inventory space. Get the hell out of my way, man. Yup. S-tuber, boy. Wait, what? Why is everything normal? What the hell? So, yeah, we got grifted. As it turns out, only a small chunk of Kamurocho got infected, and the rest of the city is just fine. Bustling, in fact. No perimeter, no nothing. Hey, at least the army's here, though. And they made sure to bring all fucking 12 of them, too. That's good. Yeah, we needed that. Nagahama even tells us that he has got a life to go back to now that we've made it out of quarantine. So we're just gonna ignore the fact that there is a whole ass pandemic just 70 feet away from us with giant Hulk ass monsters, and people are just going to work. No, yeah, that makes sense to me actually. Fuck it. Anyway, Akiyama decides to finally spill the beans to Nagahama regarding his plans. Nagahama is quite perplexed at this revelation, and he is quite surprised at his willingness to head back in there, but he respects it, and decides to give us a juicy tip. Oh? He says that not too far from here is a blacksmith, armed with the greatest materials in the world. A man renowned for his weaponsmithing skills with a deep, educated knowledge of... well, okay. Here he is. What was his name again? Kameha. Oh, yeah. Big Back. I remember this guy. This is Big Back from Yakuza's 3 and 4. The man himself. This man will be your token black market weapons dealer. And just like the other games, he'll help you upgrade your shit. Oh, yes. Speaking of upgrading, I got the materials, guys. I'm gonna upgrade my pistols. I can finally do it. Didn't do it in the first time I played, but now that I'm in New Game Plus... Wait, what? Oh, man. Yep. So it turns out that we're not gonna give you that today, fucker. You see, in order to upgrade my Macedonian twins here, I need 4 high-density polymer and a silver plate. Man, fucking... just shoot my head with a 50 cal, bro. No point in living anymore. Yep, pretty fucked up. And it especially sucks that there's just no way to free roam around an area and grind for the... the devil. Why are you wearing, like, a dominatrix ass fit under that lab coat, bro? What are you into, man? Please stop. We're out in public. Well, I hope you don't have the memory of a goldfish, because here is the woman from earlier. Hasegawa. She's finally here to serve her purpose as a vehicle for the grinding tutorial. That's right, folks. She brings us over to the Millennium Tower elevator, where we meet a nice gentleman who is a part of what's known as the Crimson Shield. That's right, Kamurocho's own Crimson Shield, a revolutionary A-team that even Akiyama has heard about. Ah, yes, and so have I. I've heard so much about this legendary team they've been putting together. Hasegawa reveals to us that she herself paid for the Crimson Shield to help smuggle us in and out of quarantine. Why? Well, it's in order to research different mutants, as she said earlier. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So this is of course where they put you in free play mode. If you really need an explanation on what free play is, well, you basically sit here, kill zombies, and get materials. That's about the core of what you do. And it fucking blows, and I'll tell you why. You see, down in the pit, zombies usually don't drop a lot of materials. For example, we need 4 high-density polymer for our weapon upgrade, but there is one giant problem. Normal zombies don't exactly drop that shit. See, due to it being a rare drop, the only monsters that drop it are typically the big guys, the mutants. For example, we've seen the Meathead and the Screamer. Those have a chance to drop polymer. However, they also drop a lot of other materials for other weapons. And let me tell ya, the chances of getting 6 fucking polymer drops are about as equal as me hoping that a juicy white Alaskan salmon drops from the sky. Yeah, no, this shit ain't happening. For now, I'm just going to accept defeat and relax for a minute. And you might be thinking, oh, how does a man relax in these times? Happy G? Hapygourious? Oh, don't worry, Rickert. I know.
Let's go golfing.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. Yes. A fairway. Yes. Gotta line my shit up. We're going for a 2-hit right here, boy.
We're going for the second stroke.
Come on. Oh man, what the fuck?
Alright, this is it right here. Watch this. Watch this, bruh. Oh. Man, fuck this shit. Going to Dr. Emoto's office, we meet up with a nice lady who informs us that Emoto-sensei is on urgent call and is currently not available. Yeah, no shit. I guess that would make sense, huh? But this presents a dark problem, since this lady is gatekeeping perks from us on Emoto's orders. But luckily, Akiyama grifts eat enough to get us this medicine. After all, he is suave as fuck and he's got that white boy swag.
すぐ治るいいね
Thank you.
Goddamn right. So, now that we finally got the medicine, we can finally head the fuck back to...
Hey.
I love you, man. Yup, it's our freak, Gary Buster Holmes. He's here to take us to boot camp. Listen, man. Why? I've killed like 1,000 zombies. I don't need your help. I'm better off just pressing R1 and hoping for the... Dear Lord Jesus God,
Yes.
Vishnu, Shinto Kagatsuchi.
Hi.
Oh, please listen to my prayer, please. Oh. So yeah, he practically forces you into going to boot camp to learn the game's mechanics. I don't want to be here. I don't know. The boot camp is okay, I guess. Again, you don't really need to lab a game where you press R1 3 times and kill something. Like, fucking Jesus, man. At least the theme goes hard. Fuck, holy shit. Damn! Alright, finally. So after being forced against your will, we can finally get back to Hana-chan. All we have to do is just run all the way back through the sewer, through Theater Square, all the way to the fucking office. Yeah, I got a bad feeling the backtracking in this game is gonna be a fucking nightmare. By the way, remember what I mentioned earlier about grinding in this game? Yeah, just through doing this one long battle, I acquired more materials than I ever did doing free play for 2.5 hours. I don't even know what the fuck RGG were smoking when they came up with this shit, bro. Fucking bomboclat. What else can I say? After finally getting through all that, arriving in New Serena, we find out that Hana is fucking gone. Yup. That's about what I expected. Looking like she got attacked by these two old people. One wearing a hat. Buddy, that's a nice hat. How about you give it to me? Man, it's over. Secretary gone. Money gone. Outbreak is gonna cause my job to go down in flames. There's no hope, man. Oh. Hello? That's right. Coincidentally, we get a call right as we kill these two old people from Hana-chan. Yup. She reveals that she had to bounce after the infection spread into New Serena in a weird but cool ass cutscene. She explains that she ran out of New Serena all the way from Serena to the Oriental building on Nakamichi Street. Hold the phone. What? Wait a minute. What? How did she run that far with a cold? Whatever. Looks like we gotta get there really fucking quickly. Hopefully there will be no coincidental explosions or anything, or destruction of the Oriental building upon us getting the... Awesome. How convenient. Looks like fucking Wile E. Coyote overheard where Hana was and just fucking decided to blow that shit up with some Acme TNT. But I'm getting tired of this shit, bro. Well, Akiyama witnesses the fucking jobulation firsthand thanks to a group known as the SDF, a military branch that does manage to contain the outbreak, but only at the cost of leaving out their own soldiers and civilians, such as your boy. Yeah, remember, Akiyama is not a Yakuza. Oh look, it's Nagahama. He says that we'll end up just like the SDF if we don't lock the fuck in right now. If we don't run with him, it's over. Run, huh? You want me to run? Oh, there's no fucking way. What's this? Yeah, if you didn't believe me before, this game is fucking piss easy. Don't let me tell you though, all you need is Akiyama with his gay swagger and many bullets to tell you that this game has some of the most abysmal dogshit AI I have ever had the pleasure of seeing. Like, how the fuck does this even happen, dog? What are they, cross-eyed? Like, just walk. Oh god. Oh god. It is truly disgusting how easy it is to exploit this AI. But anyway, as this quote-unquote horde is chasing down Akiyama and Nagahama, despite killing thousands of them in a previous cutscene, Akiyama and Nagahama still barely managed to escape this horde. But don't worry, both of them are just extremely schizophrenic, so it's okay. There's actually no zombies there. So, after that tumultuous situation, we finally managed to get out of the sewers once again. Nagahama tells us that it is time to boss the fuck up. After we explain that Hana-chan is stuck in the Oriental building, he explains to us that if we want to go back in, we have to lock the fuck in. Which is Nagoshi-sama's way of telling us that this chapter is about to wrap up very shortly, and that this will be Akiyama's final battle. Looks like we'll need to get prepared. Oh, I know just how to get prepared. Oh, yes. I'm gonna make these dudes see God, bruh. And here's where our second and final long battle is. Although I guess it's like the fifth long battle, I don't know. By tradition, I consider this to be the final one. But Man, let me tell you what, this is around the point where the frame rate for this game decides to shrivel up like Mori Calliope, which he's under my shit. The frame rates really start to collapse around this point in time. I imagine it's probably due to the enemy count and a lot of the fire effects, but it shows big time right here. It's not even worthy of making a PowerPoint presentation joke. Shit's not even a fucking PowerPoint presentation by this point. It's literally like a JPEG folder. That's what you might as well call this by now. It is supremely fucked up, but overall, it is supremely fucked up, and unfortunately, it's not going to end here. In fact, it gets worse from here, which I only say because unfortunately, due to playing this game twice and running these framey ass fucking final long battles, this actually destroyed my RAM for my PS3 bib so bad, bib senior, to the point where my RAM actually fucked up and the voices for the cutscenes actually went away. This is a problem with a lot of games I noticed even now, where if you just use enough RAM, if there's enough enemies on screen, the voices will just completely cut out. It's like the RAM is trying to say, please stop, no, please. Fucking screaming, begging me for help, trying to drag itself out of hell just because you're running the game too much. But yeah, it is unfortunate. Finally, we got my goat, the woman with a dark secret. After finding her, we finally administer the pills and she's just automatically good again too. Wow, she put that shit down raw. Damn. Oh well. Thank God, all is good again. Or is it, brother?
AKIYAMA-san.
Yeah, so it turns out we sent the freaky tongue monster for your boy. Ah, here he is. This big bastard has finally revealed himself to us, who is as loud as the many teeth on his jaw. Right before shit turns sour for my goat AKIYAMA though, the fucking boys from earlier show up. Yes! Yes! The fucking boys are here. God, I love the boys. I swear by them. I live with them. Alright, well, anyway, along with the boys, AKIYAMA decides to enact the plan of killing this big motherfucker. It's gonna be up to us to deal with him and, well, unfortunately, for those who may think that this is a challenge, I got some bad news for you and this big fucking monster. I hope you got insurance, you big piece of shit. This little freak right here is what's known as the Arahabaki prototype. It is a huge, big, grayish black creature with some big ass arms, big ass legs, huge nails, and big ass teeth. It's the combination of everything a freak would want. Fast speed, big muscles, and some heavy arm stretching attacks too. Now, on the surface, it's hard to find a weakness for this guy, to be honest. That is until this thing gets fucking utterly obliterated by the true monster in this room. The true freak. Me, the clown. Hapygourious. Unfortunately, if you came to expect any real style or substance from a boss fight in this game, you are sadly mistaken. The boss fights are about as easy as it fucking gets in this game. Basically, to give you an idea, you sit there, shoot the guy until he falls down, and you fuck on his weak point, right on his little belly. Yup. There is a second phase to this fight, luckily. Yeah, believe it or not, it's there. I mean, it's not very interesting, but hey, depth. If you'd like to know, he goes up to this old roof and basically waits for you to shoot him like a fucking whack-a-mole. But that won't exactly get him anywhere. Buddy, all that teeth, all that skin, all that movement, and it don't get you anywhere, does it? But hey, you know what? I'll give him this. At least they tried to put on a show. Even if it sucks, and even if it is in an engine that no way, no fucking way helps this boss whatsoever. At least it looks cool. I'll give him that. In the following cutscene, Akiyama and the gang are quick to notice something very interesting upon killing this big bastard. They see that a barcode and an implant seemingly imply that this monster may not be all that natural, and it may be man-made, which spooks the fuck out of Akiyama and the boys and Hana as Chapter 1 comes to an end.
誰かの意志でってことか。
Well, that is a wrap for Akiyama's chapter. I liked it. Much like Yakuza 4, I'd say this first chapter does a very good job at introducing you to the basic gameplay loop, good and bad. But honestly, my biggest takeaway so far, and something I highly respect about this game, is that, man, it does not waste your time unless you want it to, which is fucking awesome. It's short, it's sweet, and it gets right to the point. But it's for a very good reason. Believe me when I tell you, we are far from finished. And it's only gonna get fucking crazier from here. And hey, speaking of... Yappa tamaran na! Kora bogi! Nani yatton ja? Yappa, honma mo hakuryoku ga chau na. Saikou ya. Masaka zombi to yariaru hi ga kuru to wa no. It's time to die, boy. Well, here he is, boys. The bull himself, Goro Majima. He is here and making his debut in the series. That's right, because if you guys already didn't know, this guy actually has the exact same name as the other Goro Majima, which is obviously not the same guy. I mean, think about it. This guy's got that fuck-ass haircut, fuck-ass jacket. He's got gloves on in the spring. Of course, the one that we know from Yakuza 0 was a lot different. That dude was handsome, had a ponytail, had a suit and tie, a hog the girth of Jamaica, a knob the size of the Statue of Liberty, a thick snake in the garden, a humongous peck. Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but he sure is awesome. Let me tell you what. This chapter starts off about how you'd expect it to go. Majima is really excited to enact his dream reality of killing zombies after watching countless tales and movies, except there's one small problem for this little man. He has no ammo! So we gotta go and fix that by crawling through his little Majima family HQ here, which I really appreciate, by the way. One of the things I always loved about Yakuza's 4 and 5, and especially this game, was their ability of expanding upon the layers of Kamurocho instead of just putting in a new city and saying, look, here's some new content, guys. One of the things I always loved about Yakuza's 4 through 5 was their ability of expanding upon the layers of Kamurocho instead of just putting in a new city and saying, hey, look, here's some new content. It's empty as fuck, though. I always appreciate that shit. It's always better than the alternative, which is Yakuza 6, that took shit out of the game. And Ijincho, which I do love Yokohama, but I also will acknowledge the fact that it is way too big with barely anything in it, and it really spaces a lot of shit out. It has gotten better in the more modern games, but I don't know. I think it's too big for its own good. I appreciate Dead Souls, which takes Kamurocho, adds more interiors and more buildings into it, and just overall increases that spice of Kamurocho. It's like when you give a white person seasoning. It just... it makes it so damn good. Anyway, going through the Majima family HQ, we finally make our way to the office where they just have a giant stash of ammo. How this is legal in Japan of all fucking places, I'll never know, but it's pretty cool. We also get some nice Easter eggs to how Majima became a fucking big ass baller and bought out this whole office with Majima Construction. Why do they keep giving me this shit, bro? They know. They must know what I'm about to do. They shouldn't give a man 2 hands, and they sure as hell shouldn't give him a gun, boy. Yup, as per usual, God fucked up giving a man 2 hands. Not only that, but he fucked up giving Goro Majima a goddamn shotgun. Holy shit, buddy. What have we gotten ourselves into today? Now, explaining Majima's combat in this game is, well, rather uncouth. This is because of the fact that he has a fucking Italian shotgun which instantly mows down zombies faster than a tempered Arcveld, with level 1 hope weapons. So if you already thought this game was easy enough with AKIYAMA, then get ready to fucking wet your whistle, pal. This is something that I'm going to bring up multiple times like a classic YouTuber, but having this amount of power is seriously too fucking much. There is very little finesse in taking a monster's final breath with a fucking 10-pound beast of a weapon. And while it is fucking awesome not having to do any substantial labor to kill hundreds of zombies at once, the game was already simple enough. On hard mode. But I digress. By the way, I'd like to just mention, Majima has something that AKIYAMA kind of lacked in Chapter 1. That being fucking raw aura and hype moments. You can tell that this game was originally going to be a spin-off Majima game, because this motherfucker, Hidenari Ugaki-sama, takes absolute control of this game. This man emanates so much raw fucking talent that I guarantee you, if you look up the definition of aura in the dictionary, you will probably find an Imgur link of one Hidenari Ugaki. The man exudes natural aura and brings a completely unnecessary dedication to his mannerisms and inflections. It is wild to see this level of dedication in a fuck-off spin-off title. It just goes to show you that no matter what game, this man puts his whole anus into this part, which obviously goes a long way. You love to see actual competent skill and persistence from a voice actor, coming from a dubbed guy. Again, all for a spin-off which sold 250k copies, but I digress. Speaking of aura though, we also have the music, Majima's theme. I haven't talked about the music yet, but Majima's theme, made mainly by Mitsuharu Fukuyama, who is most notable for writing and creating music for the series such as Phantasy Star Online 2, some of the modern Sonic games, and obviously the Yakuza series. For those who don't know, he's mostly responsible for composing songs like Affected Fight, Whiskey and Rhapsody, Battle for the Dream, and he's responsible for that song too. You know, the one that goes... But he does most of the music work for this game, and I want to be one of the 400 men that give him praise, because god damn does this music go hard. His most popular song from Dead Souls will probably be this theme though, Majima's main theme, which is unique to this game. Each character's theme continuously gets faster and faster depending on the situation, Majima's being a complete highlight, with the tempo getting continuously batshit insane as tensions increase. Again, for a spin-off, the unneeded detail is impressive. Hey guys! Y'all like dying? Oh, I'll give you a fucking reason to! Right now. Get over here. Exiting the Millennium Tower, we see the remnants of Taihei Boulevard, which got fucked up during the events that took place during the end of Akiyama's chapter. What does he mean? I'm right here. What? Well, no. This guy actually lies. There is in fact a bigger monster ahead, and it's a giant monkey. Believe it or not, this is actually pretty normal for Yakuza. And what's also normal is that I'm about to show this gentleman who's the real prey. So here we have him, the Onraki prototype. A monkey that has clearly been feasting on some horse meat and trenbolone sandwiches. Or chicken breast and asparagus. Pick your poison, fatty. Upon not only being a big ass dude, he also seems to be into not washing thyself, since his dead cells must have coagulated enough to create an outer shell that protects himself from damage. Wow, that's pretty intuitive. Buddy, I got 103 slugs that prove why this gimmick is pointless. The main gimmick of this boss fight is not only for this beast to use several devastating AoE attacks, but he is also out to completely obliterate your PS3 as well. Yeah, this is really the first part of the game where I and probably all of you notice where it is very clear that this game was not polished in time. Shit drops frames harder than most modern games do. Dude. Sadly, it's nothing I haven't dealt with before though. I actually learned recently from reading some forum posts that you're supposed to use a tank to shoot this guy down and break his armor, but... Buddy, who do you think I am? I am fat, stupid, and gay. I got other ways of dealing with this, and it's called this, brother. Pushover. Pretty disappointing if you ask me. After dealing with that fucking monster, Majima sees God and witnesses what Akiyama and Hana also came to realize, that this is not just an infection, but rather it might be a mutation. Oh yeah, he also gets a call from God. It's none other than a Tojo executive that I don't know his name. I'm too lazy to figure it out right now, so let's call him Gurman. Gurman here tells us that Majima was supposed to be on security detail at the unveiling of Kamurocho Hills. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot. This is also the same day that Kamurocho Hills has been officially unveiled. Why the Yakuza is not only funding, but promoting the debut of Kamurocho Hills is weird. I guess it's pretty common in Japan to do this in real life. But yeah, it's a fun little significance that the game carries within the lore of the Yakuza series. But how coincidental? The same day Kamurocho Hills opens is also when the apocalypse happens. Breeds even more of a possibility and a theorem that this might have been done on purpose. But Gurman here tells us that we are late. Oh man, I'm sorry. Not only because he was late for the unveiling, but because now it is getting invaded by the zombies. That's right. Zombies have seemingly reached northeast Kamurocho already, so we gotta get there lickety fucking split. Oh yeah. I'll get there soon. Don't you worry. Unfortunately, Theater Square has been completely fucked up thanks to the failure of the SDF, so we're gonna have to cut through this bitch with some goddamn force. Good thing I am the most powerful fucking human being in fiction, so let's get this shit over with. Cutting through Taihei Boulevard, Majima meets a number of interesting jobbers. Amongst one of them is a new enemy called the Aggro. God describes the aggro as a young street tough who spent most of their time brawling before joining the ranks of the dead. Huh. Must be a different guy. Alright, we're finally out of the quarantine zone. Majima meets a very interesting man upon getting out of the gates. This is an Omi Rango, the third patriarch of the Go-Ryu clan, Tetsuya Nikaido. He's very quick to mention that our precious Kamurocho Hills seems to be under attack, and it looks like they got a lot of eggs in their basket. We also see an unknown partner along with Nikaido, with his eyes interestingly blocked from the view in the car, with Nikaido signaling that this guy is clearly not the villain. No, he can't be. Anyway, here's Hasegawa. Hello, nurse. Hey. She wants us to go back into the quarantine zone and start killing people. Yeah, whatever. Sure, lady. This will be a good way to sharpen my Yakuza Dead Souls TM skills anyway, so let's have at it, I guess. But before I do anything... Hello, Big Back. Can you mod my fucking weapons? Oh yeah. Time to die. Alright, well, now that we're back in the fucking pit, I guess it's a good time to talk about the liberation system. Yeah, so remember that chick Hasegawa? Well, one of the main objectives she wants you to do is to go around and liberate different parts of Kamurocho. To put it simply, you go up to a thing that says closed, someone asks you if you can help them destroy the zombies so they can reopen, you put the shit in the fucking, and boom. Doing so gets you access to a restaurant or a shop that basically acts the same way it did before the outbreak. Why these places still have power or expect any resources or customers during a literal zombie outbreak is beyond me, but hey, at least you get some drops from killing stronger mutants and a point system that I never use. I'm sorry, my dear. Pretty straightforward stuff. Albeit I must say I don't really find myself using any of these places too often, especially the eateries, unless you are grossly underprepared and brought very little healing. These restaurants are hardly worth it, especially when eating only gives you so little XP. I feel like what they should have done to make this system feel a bit more enticing is what they did in Yakuza 5 with that fucking chef that I'm pretty sure is like a child diddler or some shit, where they give you a second health bar or at least give you a little more XP. I think that would have been really appreciated and made the liberation system a little more appealing. Again, I understand you get points and stuff, but damn. At least the arcade goes hard. Anyway, enough lollygagging, as they say. Time to go to Kamurocho Hills. Majima proves how much of a fucking badass he is and destroys every single zombie like a fucking space marine. Literally, this guy is the most powerful being in the universe. I am 100% convinced he can defeat Sanctifex Forden or whoever the fuck that one guy is from Timbuktu in outer space. Help, dude. Once he moves his way down northeast Kamurocho, he finally makes his way to the destined Kamurocho Hills. That's right. After 3 whole games of build-up, Kamurocho Hills is finally unveiled, and it's It's a mall. It's a mall. You'd think with it being built up for this many games, they'd have like a fucking Germa 66 secret underground cloning lab or some shit, but nope. It's just a mall. Hey, I mean, at least it got done. Damn. Well, anyway, Majima is here on business. He tries to discuss the situation with both, what was your name again? Oh, German. Yeah, that's right. And of course, Daigo Dojima, who is the current chairman of the Tojo clan. Yeah, this is gonna be hard to explain considering we have like 40 years worth of lore to explain between Zero and this game, but basically, little Daigo here has grown up, and he finds himself as the chairman of the Tojo clan after getting brutally fucking molested by Kiryu Kazuma to do so. Seriously, this guy sucks, who has completely shown that not only was he incredibly complacent, but he's also a damn fool. If fucking stacks of gay pornography VHSs were a person, it would be Daigo Dojima. Not in the way of any homophobic remarks, just the fact that nowadays it is completely useless and you can pretty much just stream all of it on your phone anyways, instead of using some obsolete bullshit. But he's nothing but complacent. He hasn't done shit during the time of his Tojo clan reign as the king. Anyway, Gherkin and Daigo here bicker about who's responsible for pitting zombie attacks against the Tojo clan. Daigo informs us that it is indeed a biological attack on the Tojo clan, since every single zombie outbreak has been on adjacent Tojo buildings in Kamurocho. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that at the start of Majima's chapter, the Tojo had a meeting where they discussed a picture recently taken in Kamurocho that has aroused some suspicion that found RYUJI GODA and a former associate of his from the GORYU clan of the Omi Alliance, Tetsuya Nikaido. And as per usual, most of these Tom and Jerry jobber ass fucking Tojo members start blabbering complete nonsense. But basically, they suspect that RYUJI GODA has secretly resurfaced along with his boy and is planning to unleash the beasts upon the Tojo clan. But it's all just a theory anyways. German here gets pretty pissed at Majima for, I don't know dude, fucking having common sense I guess. And as usual, Majima ain't having any of that shit. I heard you like it deep, boy. We also get to see a little more of Majima's true nature behind his mad dig persona, giving orders to the civilians to ration food and water out and things of that nature. The man sure plays his Fortnite. It's a bit weird because of Zero, but you gotta understand, this was still around the time when Majima was transitioning from more of a caricature evil rival of Kiryu to a more fleshed out, mature individual, and a lot of people at RGG Studio were still having a really hard fucking time deciding what he should be. But hey, at least he was fucking relevant in this story. Man can't even stay in infinite wealth for like 5 minutes. Yes! While we've liberated most of Kamurocho Hills, we still got a lot of cleaning up to do. Daigo informs us of a very important matter that civilians have been reporting sightings of Springtrap entering the mall. But much as expected, the Tojo clan subordinates cannot even seem to find him, so it'll be up to us to lure him out. The problem is we can't do it through normal means. You see, Majima brings up a very interesting idea to lure Springtrap out of his cage in hell. Majima's plan is to get a couple. You see, Majima has watched a little bit of movies. He knows that he needs a couple in order to lure out the blood-sucking zombies who obviously love couples and will kill them and eat them. So, we go around asking several different couples to do it, but obviously no one wants to fucking do it. Buddy, it's Springtrap we're talking about. Come on. Which obviously leaves one person left who can do the job. Yes, now that's my chairman. What the fuck is Yakuza even about, dude? Well, I'll tell you what it's about. It's about getting into some sultry situations with your chairman in order to lure out Springtrap. Hopefully Majima is right about this, or else we about to cast some shit. Yup, this is a pretty infamous storyline if you know anything about Dead Souls. Basically, you go around getting interesting moments with Daigo, and you get to kill some zombies and get some nice rare materials in the process. Most people either love it or hate it, but most universally agree that this storyline is fucking hilarious. Little missions like this is what takes this game from a nice little side game to just an absolute piss-take classic video game. But it's a good piss-take. It's a little weird to have a rant like this just in the middle of this side mission, but god damn it, I always love when they do this. Just because it gives the game a lot of soul, which is what I love about these games, god damn it. Although, if it were up to Daigo, he'd cut this entire part out of the video. He doesn't want anything to do with this shit, and after we kill all the 3 zombies, he gives us a little fucking mythical god material and says that we should never bring this up. Buddy, I didn't know being chairman was so lucrative like that. Can you give me some galaxy gas as well? Well, despite how embarrassing that shit was, Daigo and I can finally rest knowing that the civilians inside Kamurocho Hills can now sleep nicely tonight. That is, until they can't. Yep, of course, soon as everything is just nice and peaceful, these fucking chicken on a fishing rod and lift the sign up while falling, goddamn stupid ass motherfucking, what are you doing? Why? Oh god, no, please. These goddamn people show up and fucking ruin the party, letting all the zombies back into Kamurocho Hills. So now we gotta get the fuck back up, go down and fix these guys' problem, and defend Kamurocho Hills for as long as possible. Fucking piece of shit. I don't have anything to throw. I don't know. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Yay! Yay! Is that a fucking baby? Oh god, I can't oh god, I hate children. But making them. So now we gotta get around to saving this little child, who, thanks to his fucking crying, enables the zombies to become really mad, making them a little more powerful. Is what I would say if I wasn't a fucking buzzsaw that goes around. Oh, finally, this baby can shut the fuck up. Oh. Well, now it's time to go back outside while these guys repair the entrance here, but Majima has to go and show these hungry ass motherfuckers who the real monster is. You guys want to get in here? Good luck, buddy.
Majima-san, anta, otori ni?
Oji-san.
なあお前らおいしいごちそうやで
Fuck, that's not good. Yep, it turns out even a god can bleed. We have truly fallen. You know shit is really bad when a jobber has to cover your blind spot too. I'm falling off, bruh. Shit. Anyway, thanks to our little rampage, the hills are once again secured. But there's just one problem. I'm not in there. We gotta find a way out. Luckily, this old man here can get us our ticket out. All we have to do is escape through the sewers with this strange little guy. But God's not gonna let that shit happen easily. Oh, no, no, no. They got a little freak after us. Oh, you're back for round 2, huh? Oh, I hope you're ready. Cause I'm ready. Well, after that, we head down right into the sewers. This old man tells us that he is from Purgatory, a main fixture of the OG Yakuza series, an underground mini red light district which houses the fat Fuchi dealer who gave you information at a high price. Daigo and I decide that we might as well question this guy on the whereabouts of Nikaido and what he's planning to do, giving us a chance to be more up to speed on things. But there's only one problem. This shit got the infection too. Hi,
everybody. I need somebody. I broke. I need somebody.
Oh, wow. Pretty. Well, upon getting to this red light district, the florist is here to give us some information, aka elaborate on the unfolding plotline, and yeah, he really doesn't. Wow, thanks man, fucking dickhead. Before anything can truly be revealed though, one of the florist's little slaves find out that Nikaido is located at the batting cages right now. Man, I saw the fucking batting cages with Majima, for fuck's sake, man. Shit. Alright, fine. After we receive news that Nikaido Avocado is located in the batting cages, we slowly make our way out of Purgatory before meeting a very interesting fella. It's AKIYAMA. Holy dude. Wow! In what could possibly be the fucking strangest interaction ever, AKIYAMA basically rizzes us up and convinces us to go along to the batting cages because, fuck if I know, he's bored as hell right now. Rich man bored as hell, ready to kill some people. Alright, if you want that, I'll give it to you. But it's not gonna be easy, because as we make our way to the batting cages, we meet up with good old Nikaido and his boy, who is officially revealed for the first time. But before we can take a gander, a fucking giant spider appears. He is posted up and ready to eat. No foreplay, just ready to fuck. Just a big warning though, I'm not exactly a fan of any safety. Yup. The fuck? Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's up? What the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? Oh, Jesus Lord. Okay, let's try that one more time. See you in hell, boy! Now I see why Majima labs baseball. After killing this beast, Majima and AKIYAMA find no rest within this miserable life they live, pressed up once again by the hordes of God. They are ready to die. That is until a dark secret reveals himself from the shadows. Who will it be? We'll find out in Chapter 3. And with that, Chapter 2 officially comes to an end. Overall, it was pretty fun. I had a lot of enjoyment out of this chapter, but damn, I cannot lie, so far out of the chapters, this was definitely the most boring for me. I know that sounds kind of jarring, but don't get me wrong, I love Majima as a character. I think all of his parts in this game, once again, like I said in the beginning, are fucking awesome. Thanks and no less to the absolute unnecessary ass professionalism being done by his voice actor, but to be honest, I barely struggled at all throughout this entire game. Because trust me when I tell you, even my first time through, he is so broken that it just makes me feel like I'm going through the motions. Like, there is no challenge whatsoever. And once you remove a lot of that challenge with Majima, you then get the story, which is basically the longest edging session of all time. Like, oh, we're gonna give you 5 seconds of story, but oh, look at this crazy fucker appearing. Even though Yokoyama had nothing to do with the writing of this story, I feel right at home actually. But don't worry, this next part is gonna be a lot more interesting.
Majima-san, あいつ
そうや関西の竜大見るに合田隆二暴れさせてもらうで。
Well, well, well. Look who decided to show up back from the dead. It's only one RYUJI GODA. AKA the guy that stole that one dude's pants. You remember that shit? Well, this is RYUJI GODA from Yakuza 2. First of all, if you don't know who this guy is, fuck you. Second of all, you need to go play Yakuza 2. Don't play Kiwami 2 though, that shit is ass compared to Yakuza 2. Speaking of Yakuza 2, I guess it's time to talk about why the fuck this guy is in the game and why his death is very good or bad depending on who you ask. So let's get started, shall we? For you see, if you don't remember the events of Yakuza 2, basically RYUJI GODA fucking goons on top of a rooftop for 6 hours, along with one KIRYU KAZUMA. Now in the game, it was said that a bomb was going to go off while they were fighting, but of course since KIRYU KAZUMA lived, the bomb obviously didn't go off. So, a lot of fans have obviously made theories that RYUJI GODA survived, but it has been stated many times throughout many PR adventures with RYUGA Gotoku Studio that Ryuji died from his wounds. Actually, they haven't said shit about RYUJI GODA's death.
He actually hasn't appeared in the memorial that they did for Infinite Wealth. He didn't appear in Gaiden. Kiryu mentioned in Infinite Wealth and Gaiden that, oh, Ryuji could be standing right here in front of me. They didn't say anything.
Okay. Damn. But my thoughts on Ryuji being alive in this game are quite mixed. On one hand, this man is aura personified. He is what the Yakuza games perfectly represent. Masculinity times 10. The man is dripped out of his fucking mind, has a mechanical arm that turns into a damn minigun. Yeah, no, this is the series personified right here. This is the Indominus Rex of the fucking... Yeah. He is him. There's a good reason that Yokoyama and his team doubled down on making sure that RYUJI GODA stayed dead. It was meant to portray that if Ryuji was a good man and didn't focus on trying to have this ridiculous beef with Kiryu Kazuma, he would have stayed alive and probably would have redeemed himself. But of course he ended up dying because of that Yakuza shit. Oh man, we didn't want to see that. So, in this alternate reality here in Dead Souls, Ryuji's actually alive. pissing away pretty much all the symbolism that Yakuza 2 had to offer, so I guess we'll see how this scenario plays out. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing, we'll have to see, don't we? We get a little more exposition on why Ryuji GODA is here in the first place following his defeat on top of Kamurocho Hills. Since then, he's been spending his days jobbing, working at a takoyaki stand with an old man named Poops. What? Oh. Pops. Well, while he's working the shoot job, a former grunt of his named Tetsuya Nikaido tries to convince him to join him on this insane business venture, as we found out in Majima's chapter. But Ryuji ultimately rejects him, cementing to his subordinate that his Yakuza days are over. He lost fair and square against Kiryu Kazuma. There's no reason for him to come back to the Omi Rengo. Cutting back to reality in the batting cages though, Ryuji states to Majima and Akiyama that he is here to clean up Nikaido's mess, making it clear that it's his responsibility and that him and only himself has the stones to put an end to this calamity. No friends needed. Sure, pal. Well, now that introductions are out the way, we're free to start fucking killing people. GODA has a map of Nikaido's crib that he gave him in the cutscene, which literally leads to the northwest section of Kamurocho. Or in this case, literally just to our right on the street. Awesome. Looks like it's time to go inside and have a good old chat with this Nikaido. The inside of this building is pretty fucking AIDS, to be honest with you. This building is a very tight-knit space, but thank God Ryuji has his minigun here. He utterly obliterates anything that stands in his fucking way, including things like aggros and monkey boys. Thank God. Buddy, I like that. Now, as you've seen already, I've used the Gatling gun previously, and it's pretty cool, but let me tell you, exclusively using this weapon on a character is kinda dog shit. See, since the Gatling arm has a pretty slow startup, you're mostly going to be hitting those sweet front shots, and while the spam's nice, you'll also be losing those truthful headshots, unlike with someone like Akiyama. There's also the problem of ammo consumption. It's almost the exact opposite situation I had with Majima, where I never had to worry about ammo due to the fact that I could just freely one-shot anything I see. But hey, at least I get that fucking bag. No need to worry about any of this. But yeah. Anyways, the classic happens. Ryuji goes into the room and sees that the zombies sacked the damn place, and that Nikaido Avocado is gone. Even worse, he notices a map of the beset Tojo clan buildings that have all been invaded. That is, all except one, on the southeast part of Kamurocho. The Toshin building. So guess what, pal? Yeah, you guessed it. We're gonna have to walk all the way there. But if you thought that shit was gonna be just a little cakewalk, then this nightmare has only begun. Because what I'm about to describe to you is some of the worst busy work I've ever had to do in a Yakuza game. Not as bleeding as some fucking rear shit, but this whole chapter is riddled with horrifyingly disgusting ass grinding. So as a great man once said,
strap in. I'm about to open some fucking windows. English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yes.
Alright, so remember, our objective is to get all the way from northwest Kamurocho all the way to the southeast part, otherwise known as the Toshin building. Now, if you don't know where that is, it's the same street as the Matsugane office from Judgment. That's where Kaito is! First order of business is to cut through Theater Square. Now, usually you can just cut through, but no. You see, there are some SDF soldiers that are being holed up here. You gotta help them out, which means you have to clear the entire goddamn square, which usually is pretty easy, but is fucking annoying this time, specifically because there's one little fucker who is stuck trying to spawn. Get over here, buddy. Taking up all my goddamn time. Then, after you clear out Theater Square, you find a tank and a wall. And I'm sure you can guess what's going to happen next. For some reason, RYUJI GODA just desires to break through this wall with this tank. But there's just one problem. Yup, you guessed it, buddy. There's no tank shells. Aw, is fucking right, buddy. Luckily, God decides to put the SDF right on the line as we get into the tank, saying that there is a new shipment of tank shells located at Pink Street. Oh, how titillating. So now we gotta go all the way to Pink Street to get these tank shells to and fro back to the tank. Oh my god. It's around this point where you get introduced to a couple new mutants. This one's called the Dip, and this one is called the Hermit. The Dip here is basically just a flying bitch that spits on you.
Hey, no, stop, just calm down.
Not too much of a problem. But this guy, oh, he's a real bitch. This is called the Hermit. He is a man that hides inside a rock like a coward. He's one of those enemies that takes a long time to kill because of his inane armor-ass ability. And all while you shoot him makes the most excruciatingly painful sound upon ricocheting all your bullets off of his miserable, scant little skin. I'm telling you, they use this tactic for POWs in Iraq, dude. So, cutting through Pink Alley, we eventually meet a man by the name of Ibuki. Ibuki proposes a theorem to us, where if we can help a couple people out that got stuck in the barricades, he can give us a means of transporting the tank shells via a forklift. All we need to do is help the people out, and he'll give us a key. Oh, it shouldn't be too hard if it's just in Pink Alley. Oh god. So now you gotta go around getting different groups of people in 3 different areas, and let me tell you, it is a fucking bitch. Because the more groups you rescue, the longer it takes, and the more problems they run into. You have to successfully extract people from Pink Alley, Middle Kamurocho, and Tenkaichi Street, all the way back to the HLA building. Didn't know I was playing fucking Helldivers. God damn. And did I mention that when you do try and extract people, for whatever reason it just doesn't fucking work when you go up to the HLA building? Like, what the fuck? Like, this should be easy. It's just pathing. Who worked on this game, bro? Did fucking BioWare some shit work? Come on, dude. It can't be this hard. So, after legitimately about 20 minutes of extracting all these motherfuckers, Ibuki finally gives you a key to the forklift. Now you get to go and get the fucking tank shells and bring them back. This has been an excruciating, painful mission, but it's okay. At least the annoying part is finally over, and we can just transport this. Now, the forklift UI looks a little weird. Like, seriously, again, for a side game, this is ridiculous. I've never seen this in a Yakuza game. But at least the driving from here will be smooth.
What? What's that?
What is this? What? Cargo? Who put these here? Who put these here? So after doing all that to get this forklift, now you have to do fucking eels and escalators with these goddamn cargo crates. Now, I just want you to know something. On my first playthrough, this was utter hell. I did not know what I was doing. Just because of the sheer weird-ass nature of this minigame and the fact that there is nothing like this in any other Yakuza game, it is utter hell to figure this out for your first time. And fun fact, if you don't complete this in time, you actually run out of fucking gas by the time you go and get the tank shells. Yeah, and you know what's fun? You have to start all over again. But I didn't record that, and that actually that probably didn't happen. That's just a that wasn't actually me. That was my brother, Satirigus. He was on the controller. What you have to do is you have to lift like 3 cargo, put it in a different fucking location, enter God's kingdom, and after all of that, run over a couple of the devil's acolytes, and then you can enter God's kingdom and get the fucking ammo. Now you gotta backtrack all the way to where the tank is, and you can finally load this goddamn piece of shit fucking poor excuse of a tank. And you finally shoot that bastard down like the fucking degenerate that it is, and boom, you can finally get to God's kingdom. Yes! I did it. I'm free. I'm free. It's over. I'm home. I'm home. Yes! Finally, we are done for now. After all that shit, Ryuji escapes through the wall into Kamurocho. One of the generals from the SDF scolds Ryuji for blasting through that damn wall that they spent all that time putting up, but GODA is quick to call his bluff, saying that the survivors aren't exactly having a picnic out there. The general respects that shit, and he just goes back to work on the barricade. Yeah, you fucking bitch. Better go over there and fix that shit right now. How about you go out there and save some fucking survivors, son? Yeah, you better walk that... Hello, nurse. This is Asagi. She asked Ryuji if he's hurt, but Ryuji's got that game pass. He's gonna be alright. Whew. Man, I'm fucking tired. I need a bit of a goddamn break, man. I need to sit my ass down for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I need to go and find some, like, something to do. Oh, look! It's Club SEGA. Oh, I could play some video games. I got that fucking bag. Let me tell you what. Let me go inside, actually. Let me see what they got in this arcade. Oh my god!
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Drink, swalla la la. Drink, swalla la la. Swalla la la. Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Drink, swalla la la. Drink, swalla la la. Swalla la la. Freaky, freaky, yeah.
Oh, now that is just what I needed. Now it is time to upgrade this fucking minigun. It is time... okay. Yup. What the fuck is Yakuza even about, man? Yeah, I don't really know how to start this, so I guess I'll just kind of raw dog it. This is Junya, a host from Club Stardust. He's in need of a quick spotting for a rifle, so he can go and help his friends out over at his club. Looks like he needs a pay pig. Buddy, I'm no pay pig, but I'm a plug, okay? I'm no pay pig, but I'm a plug. So here you go. Bye, Junya. Fucking piece of shit. Can't buy a goddamn rifle on his own. What kind of country is this, man? Fucking kids these days, you know what I'm saying? Oh my. So, after getting through all that, we meet with Big Back. Of course, if you don't know by this point, Big Back is responsible for upgrading all of our weapons, which means that it is time to upgrade this miserable minigun arm into the Oh. Yeah. We're 5 demon stones short. Great. Looks like we gotta go find demon stones. Now, luckily, since I am omnipotent, I know exactly where to find a couple of those demon stones, and conveniently, it just so happens that we have to walk from the southmost point of Kamurocho all to the second northmost point of Kamurocho, known as the Dragon Palace, Ryugujo. Awesome. And the even better news is that we have no taxis or fast travel whatsoever, and literally make our way back the same way we came from. I hope you enjoyed that fucking little gamer break we did. Well, no time like the prep. Buddy. Alright, so Junya here, despite my kindness, continues to ask for more. Pig here can't take the hint that a gun is all it takes. Buddy, I'm going to eat you if you don't get out there and kill people. It's not that hard. Go. Oh.
Attention.
Oh shit, here he comes.
sono gagi. No reglamento mimasu. Jigoku no boot camp.
I'm about to eat both y'all right now. I swear to God. I've had enough today. So, here comes this motherfucker, Gary Buster Holmes. This guy comes in like fucking Springtrap with his American-ass music playing in the background. Fucking, I swear to God, fucking dead Samuel Adams and fucking, I don't know, Johnny Appleseed are about to show up. Gary here says that I won't have to worry about making this boy into a man. Holmes here says that while I go out and get the equipment for Junya, he'll get him ready to kill motherfuckers at Tenkaichi Street to save his boys. Fine, I'll help this bitch-ass motherfucker out. I could use some entertainment as I crawl my way up through Kamurocho. Plus, I can show you some of the horrors of grinding in this game too. So, whatever. Let's get this shit over with. Most of the shit we need to purchase is actually pretty simple for the most part. Junya has requested a light breastplate, Stamina XX, and a protective amulet. Now, most of these are obtainable from Big Back, minus the amulet. Without any gooning, the amulet's habitat can be only found in Ebisu Pawn. And buddy, guess what needs to be liberated? Yay! I'm sure you can imagine the excitement. So once you give a hearty, goon-filled effort, you can finally acquire the riches and treasure. Now, after some training, me and Junior are finally ready to kill. Let's do this, man. Let's do this through thick and thin. We can grind together. We can goon together. There's nothing we can't... Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, dude. Yep. After all that shit, Junya pussies out. Well, you know what they say, boy. Come here. Alright, let's get going. So, I'm sure as you can imagine, I just have a great sunshine fun day walking through Kamurocho all over again. Now obviously, while I hate to bitch and moan, the grinding in this part is really frustrating. And it's not even the grinding itself. I'll never complain about getting shit done, but damn, half the challenge alone is fucking getting there. If there's one thing that fucking grinds my gears about this game, it is the lack of not only fast travel, but just running itself. I know, it's a very privileged thing to talk about since so many modern games now have running and fast travel from taxis just from calling your phone. But holy shit, it is brutal. But thank God. Thank God that they decide to give you a forklift, which you can fully drive around the map. Yeah, it's not just used for Pink Alley. You can actually drive it around the entire... Why? Why? What makes this shit 10 times worse above all things is that, thanks to the walls that haven't been broken down by giant ass zombies, you don't have to fucking zip zoom your way around the entire goddamn map in different patterns like an Egyptian maze. In order to get to Ryugujo, you have to go up through Pink Street, take a left from the Millennium Tower, then head through Theater Square, go all the way right, and take another left, and boom, you're finally at the gambling hall. All of this legit takes like 10 minutes. And it's not just any 10 minutes, you might as well make it feel like a goddamn hour, because that is how long this geriatric old 40-year-old fuck takes to climb his ass up there. Buddy, do some fucking CrossFit, man, damn. Come on. Buddy, give me those stones now. Oh yeah, I guess I never talked about this. This is Ryugujo, the gambling hall. Most people don't know this because, well, nobody goes to Ryugujo unless you're a filthy completionist. You might remember Ryugujo as the place the Nishikiyama family lieutenant RSA killed Reina in Yakuza 1, or the building that Yagami's crack dealer resides in Judgment. Yeah, that's where Plug is. Most of the games around here are basically centered around the dice game from Yakuza 1, if you remember that. You do remember that, right? Where Haruka goes, you do know that, right? You know that part? Yeah, you do, right? Come on. You played Yakuza 1. My knuckles are bleeding. Hold on. Oh, shit. Well, anyway, if you're a gambling man, you know the deal. You use the sticks that you get from gambling to get various materials, like these here demon stones and a bunch of other materials. Buddy, I'm not wasting any time. Give everything to me now. But because I'm a man that actually respects thyself and my money, I'ma just buy these sticks and get 10 demon stones just in case the devil wants to fuck me over. Buddy, I'm prepared. Okay, I know what's gonna happen. I'm prepared. I'm prepared and you're not. You're not. I'm prepared. So, once you get the demon stones, guess what, buddy? It's time to go all the way back to Pink Street. Man, you know, I wish I was dumb. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I was stupid. Like, I wish people would tell me, dude, there's actually a way to get back there. There's actually a secret way to fast travel back to Pink Street. But instead, I have to dad walk all the way back. Alright, I need to take a break. And thank God, because just around the corner from Ryugujo, there's Jewel. You might remember Jewel, the cabaret club. It turns out that they need Ryuji's help. And I'm gonna help them because I'm lonely. Shit, I'm gonna go inside. Give me some good ass respite, baby. Yeah! Damn. What the fuck? You saved something for me, homie? What the fuck? What? How are you so good at this? What? Damn, man, he's got that charisma. Alright, well, fun's over. Time to head back through all of Kamurocho. And finally, after getting back after like 15 goddamn minutes, we can finally upgrade this gun into a mid-ass anime. Finally. It is time for this motherfucker Nikaido Avocado to pay in blood. Now, Rickert, you could ask me, but Hapygourious, ooh, why? Why do you need to upgrade this weapon if you already 3-shot the zombies anyway? Well, now I can one-shot them, can't I? So basically, Ryuji rolls up here to the building opposite of the Matsugane office from Judgment. He's here to lay down the fucking law to this family, who unfortunately is very worm-brained. But he's like those people who thought Sony was intentionally gouging the PS5 stock back when it launched. He believes that the apocalypse here is nothing more than a fallacy. A lie, if you will. Have you looked out the window? There's a window. Oh, look. But do you see what's going on? Like, oh god. Oh well. Oh, look at that coincidental timing when a fucking zombie that apparently doesn't exist comes in and kills everybody. Wow, how shocking. I don't even know why the fuck we showed up here personally. Wait, what? Huh? Hayashi? Oh shit. Yeah, this plot just got a little more interesting. As this family dies, we begin to see the effects of this mysterious infection take place, as they weirdly love the sensation of being killed, muttering to themselves, "Sweet death." Gathering more sparks toward this fire that this infection seems to be man-made, and whoever's done it is clearly trying to take down the Tojo clan. It's something that becomes all the more clear as Hayashi runs away.
Oh, y'all still awake? Oh, that's good. Time to fucking die!
Oh, almost there. Oh, you almost got it. Come on. Oh, he didn't make it. Immediately after disposing of the newly infected men, Nikaido coincidentally gives us a call. He phones us up and tells us that we need to meet up and talk about coming back into the game, much like he said earlier at the takoyaki stand at the beginning of the game. He wants to meet us up at Club Asia, Majima's cabaret on Pink Street. Oh, I'll come back alright. But of course, since Nikaido is a fucking evil bastard, he has some fun Joker activities for us to go through, which is a long battle. And buddy, by long battle, I mean long battle, because since Pink Street has been walled off again, we have to fucking zip zoom once again across another Egyptian maze. This time though, it's not just one, but 2 mazes from hell just to get to a goddamn cabaret club. Not only do we have to commit Mickey Mouse activities on the Champion District, but we also have to go through Little Asia as well, which are both very tight-knit areas and have a bunch of bullshit padding like these Molotov cocktail guys and the classic hermit. By far the worst example of this is during your imprisonment inside the Champion District. For example, there is a mini side mission where you have to go and help out this nice lady here find her dad, who is located at a dead-end part of the map that you have to backtrack all the way around to, even with more Molotov guys and a fucking meathead. Mr. Electric, send this man to the dick, ball, and cock machine now, immediately, tonight. But I will say, for what it's worth, I actually do enjoy seeing the Champion District and Little Asia finally being used in some sort of important way. I know Yakuza 6 would use it, but I mean, come on, it's Yakuza 6. Does anyone like that game? I mean, it's okay. Oh, never mind. They're coming. The Yakuza 6 fans are coming. And I also enjoy for once that you can finally go through Little Asia without worrying about racism. Although I'm not a big fan of doing many Save the People quests for these, but hey, these are my fucking guys, you know what I'm saying? We're all human beings. I got you. You are my brother, and so am I. Welcome. So yeah, after 2 long grueling battles that I will not show you in full, we can finally get to Club Asia here on Pink Street. And let me tell you, this is where shit is about to hit the fan for RYUJI GODA. Inside of Club Asia, we see Nikaido doing some evil, dirty deeds, including tying up Haruka to a little stripper pole. Oh, so you're a pedophile, and you like little girls. Yeah, I've seen this before. He jobbed last time I met him. He jobbed real hard. Of course, since Nikaido is utter textbook, he explains his big monologue to RYUJI GODA. See, Nikaido plans to bring KIRYU Kazuma back into Kamurocho using Haruka as bait here. Once he gets him in, he's going to kill him using his nice dead friends that he's finally got, finally allowing the Omi Rengo a taste of revenge after Kiryu utterly destroyed it in Yakuza 2. He also voices his grievances against Ryuji for not joining him in his conquest to destroy the Tojo clan, along with his zombies. Nikaido decides he's going to punish RYUJI GODA for not doing so, and his way of punishment is to bring his master Pops out and turns him turns him into a giant fucking octopus. Yeah, I can't make this shit up. Now, of course, symbolically, turning into an octopus is obviously very symbolic because he runs a takoyaki stand, which is like octopus. I love Dead Souls, dude, I swear. Well, sorry for the homie pops, but I'm gonna have to put your ass down with all the other takoyaki, boy. It's time to get ready.
Come here.
This is the Yatsukage prototype. Much like all the other boss fights in this game, this one is extremely clunky but has some pretty cool ideas, I'll give it that. Much like other boss fights, the first phase is you shooting the weak point on his little thingies here. Unlike other bosses, however, this time all of his tentacles have multiple weak spots. Yeah, hey, remember what I said in the beginning about the minigun and aiming? Well, it's pretty fucking awful because of the fact that the tentacles obviously move a lot and the Gatling gun has a ton of recoil. Shit takes ages to properly aim even with a stick. It is a son of a bitch, especially on analog stick. And I must admit to you, I absolutely struggled hard in my first playthrough. It was an absolute bitch to do, but luckily this time around it's a little easier. Once you get used to this godforsaken engine, shit gets about as easy as you'd think. But as this game will show, even the most Herculean skills are not enough, because the following cutscene shows that even destroying Pops is not enough, because he'll regenerate like an actual octopi. Oh, nice to see they added that little touch in. I like that. Much like a real octopus, the only way to kill Pops is to do it just like you would at a takoyaki stand, and that is to shove a stick right through his fucking head. But it's not going to be easy, because now we're on the second phase, and it is quite brutal. Or should I say really fucking boring. The next stage of this part is literally just you standing on stage and doing nothing. All you do is literally just wait for him to pop out, shoot him a couple times, rinse and fucking repeat. This is one of the most boring ass parts of the entire game. By far the lamest boss of all time right now. There is no challenge or tedium whatsoever in this. Like, this shit is so boring you might as well just go and do something else and wait for him to come back out. Like, seriously, this part sucks. But eventually, after many minutes, we can finally put Pops to rest and end this dreary ass fight. Yeah, sorry Pops. Following his defeat, Ryuji follows through with Pop's teachings, stabbing him right through the head and ending his own life. The game obviously decides to make you feel really fucking emotional for Pops and tries to make you remember all one of the good times that you had with Pops, learning how to stab an octopus and kill it instantly. Yeah, I don't care. Kind of a goofy ass backstory, but damn, I gotta admit, seeing the homie Pops go, shit man, I do hate seeing the homie Pops being used to fuck with Ryuji. But if this is the kind of writing that cements Ryuji as a good man, then I guess it's a little better than rubber bullets. And with that, that is pretty much the end of chapter 3. Ryuji's dead set on Oh, it's not over. Nikaido graciously left another Sugoi present for us waiting behind the wall, just in case we managed to chase him down. Oh, excuse me. Did I say just one Sugoi present? I mean 3 jabronis worth of monsters. Buddy, the devil. Well, if you think this is enough of a challenge for me, then you have got the wrong guy. Done and done. After this fight, GODA proclaims his anger toward wanting to know where Nikaido is. And, well, where is he? Well, he's at the start of the game. And that is the end of Chapter 3. Really weird way to end Chapter 3. I mean, you literally could have just ended it at the octopus. I don't know anymore. I don't know. But if there's one thing that is good, it is time to enter the final stretch, ending off Chapter 3. You know, I will say, as tedious as that first part was and the grinding, this shit was still fucking awesome, I gotta be honest with you. And I think what made Ryuji's chapter all worth it was the overall aura that Ryuji shows in general. Despite the game's subpar writing, I still think it does a fine job of showing the growth, the girth of Ryuji Goda's character. One of those ways were the side stories that I had to cut for time reasons. Some of these stories are straight up goofy in showing this. Like, there's literally a storyline where he feeds takoyaki to some poor kids in a gang, who literally start sobbing over how good that shit is. Like, come on, brother. All while Ryuji acts like a dad that brought you that Joker toy you've always wanted. Or a storyline where he literally confuses a random Asian woman for his sister Karusayama from Yakuza 2. And he makes it his fucking mission like Jesus trying to save people from sin to save this girl. All because he wants to become a better man than he was and save his sister. That right there is the kind of shit that makes me lament him being dead. I get that there is a ton of stories in the Yakuza universe that showcase the theme of redemption, but damn, it would have been nice if he was still alive, but ultimately, I understand why he stayed dead. It is still cool that Dead Souls gives us a light feast over the light appetizers we got in Yakuza 2 regarding the type of man Ryuji Goda could have been, and why, if circumstances were different, he'd be one of the best characters in the series. Speaking of best characters in the series, it is time for the best character to arrive.
よすんだ。やめとけ。はあ？何なんですね。あいつが堂島の竜だ。カムロ町の伝説の極道桐生一馬。 4代目河室町頼んます。ご苦労だった。 貴様こんなデタラメ今の俺に触るな何をするか分からねえぜ
The infection's spreading quickly. I gotta get this over with before I fall ill. So, I just want to preface before I begin Kiryu's chapter. This hopefully will be the shortest in the video, mainly because of the fact that, well, I think I'm about to fall ill, so I better get this done as quickly as I can, and realistically, I don't really want to show anything that you haven't already seen before. You've seen most of it, so realistically, much like my hero Kiryu Kazuma, I think we're just gonna get down to business, and I think my hero will agree, because good God almighty, this motherfucker has returned to Kamurocho once again. Now, as far as this game goes, this is probably the most lame and awesome way for Kiryu to come back to Kamurocho. The man literally just shows up, everyone gets out of his fucking way, and they destroy the gate, getting him inside. Literally the most badass yet pointless ass reason for him to come back to Kamurocho. Now, Rickert, I know you're sitting here thinking to yourself, man, what the fuck was the story again? Oh, don't worry, Rickert. You're just in luck, because I don't either. Well, to basically summarize, Kiryu is here to find Haruka, and he's gonna beat up every single zombie until they obviously tell him where she is. Because of course, that will work. Buddy, I don't think this shit's gonna work, man. Yeah, I don't know. But obviously that shit fails. Bet y'all didn't know this shit was in the game, by the way. This part is pretty fucking awesome. You actually get to play the OG controls inside of a spin-off. It's really fucking awesome and something that I was shocked was even in this game. But Kiryu continues to attempt to mollywop these sons of bitches back to the fucking Dark Ages, but ends up having no avail whatsoever. We then get one of the lowest framed cutscenes I've ever seen, which recaps everything we've seen so far. Basically, for those who forgot what the fuck is going on, Haruka gets tricked into going into a retirement party for the headmaster of the orphanage she was raised in. But, of course, once she arrives there, Haruka gets kidnapped. Oh my god. Yup, truly innovative in its narrative, Dead Souls is, but anyways. As with all great men, Kiryu cannot take the hint that the zombies are not going to feel pain nor remorse after being beaten down. It finally takes a fucking bad bitch we met earlier in the story named Asagi for Kiryu to finally get a fucking clue and run along to safety with her. I might need to fucking enlist. Holy, hello, nurse. Hi. Well, basically this cutscene revolves around this main point. Asagi tells us that if we keep being a little pussy and caring about the zombies' lives, then that will get us killed, giving Kiryu again. But Kiryu actively refuses, saying that he needs to find Haruka. Why don't you just take the gun? Just take the... You can't kill... You can't beat them. You can't beat them. Well, we'll get back to that later. Alerted by the sound of gunshots, Asagi and Kiryu both go to check out if any civilians are still alive, only to find out it's a bit too late. Yep, that's right. It's Nagahama. You do remember Nagahama, right? From earlier? AKIYAMA Yes, dude, you got it. Congrats, man. You did it. Well, much like a lot of Yakuza, Nagahama is very excited to meet the Dragon of Dojima, but unfortunately there's just one small problem. He got bit, boy. Yup, he's about to turn into a poor bastard, and now we have to do the favor by killing him. What I enjoy about this scene is this little line that Nagahama says towards the end of his death. I actually like this a lot. It obviously doesn't mean too much in the grand scale of things, but it's a great reminder of the overall arching point of the entire series, which is that no matter how many coats of sugar you try to add, no matter how hard you work, in the end, the Yakuza is nothing but hell itself. And just like that, you become another spoke on the cock, or in this case, another demon in hell. Oh my god, bro, please just kill this man. What is stopping you, man? Oh, buddy. Buddy. Wait a minute. Are you sure I need guns? It's quite weird to talk about Kiryu and his stance on killing people in this game. They do allude to it, but they don't really go over it too much, which is surprising considering that RGG in the past has said that Kiryu has never killed it. Alright, so he may or may not have a problem killing people, but overall this cutscene does, I guess, a pretty decent job at showing Kiryu's remorse to straight up take a man's life without much reason. And it's a good thing, because now he's gonna have to take 1,000 more. Because as this gets finished, Kiryu and Asagi decide that Haruka might be holed up in Kamurocho Hills along with Daigo and Majima. So guess where we're going next? That's right, buddy. We gotta tear our way through the entirety of Kamurocho. I hope you're fucking ready, buddy. Well, I'm sure you know how this goes by now. Outside of the quarantine zone, Kiryu gets the lay of the land. We meet up with Hasegawa and Big Back, and we get the typical speeches we've got throughout the game. Blah blah blah, bitch. Yap yap yap. Give me my fucking guns. Yes! Oh, my sweet, beautiful toys. Oh, I've waited a long time to see you. Since you guys have mostly seen all the guns in this game, I'll choose the assault rifle and the shotgun just in case things go south. Gotta give these kids a chance to come out and play. Speaking of playtime, let's do this shit. While we carve our way through, I think it's a pretty good time to talk about Kiryu Kazuma's theme in Yakuza Dead Souls. Personally, for me, this is my favorite track in the game. It starts off with some light piano keys, followed by a hard-ass drop with some guitars and shit, symbolizing Kiryu's change from a little remorseful to straight brutal in killing zombies. Shit is a absolute classic beat, even without my over-observation. Making his way to Kamurocho Hills, Kiryu... Hold on a minute. Okay. Making his way into the hills, Kiryu and Asagi quickly make their way to the previous safe house and meets up with one of his closest allies. His closest friend who has been with him since the beginning of Yakuza 1. Holy! It's Hayashi! Buddy, what's good, man? I missed you. He's come back. The grunts in this series suck now compared to Hayashi, man. Damn. That's right, baby. After revealing himself officially in the last chapter, the GOAT has officially returned. Kazuma gives us a quick history lesson before Hayashi reveals some of his new friends, which are some SDF soldiers, which Asagi is obviously not a big fan of. But by the looks of it, whether she likes it or not, we gonna have to deal with these motherfuckers, baby. Come here, little man. Awesome. After clearing all those soldiers, as Asagi is left in a pool of her former brethren's viscera, Kiryu meets up with one of his closest allies, his closest friend. It's Majima! Yes! Yay! Both catch up on their respective theaters, but the most important piece Majima gives us is that he can lead us into purgatory along with, oh shit, what was his name? the florist, where we can finally figure out the dark secrets that is this fuck-ass plot. Oh, also, yeah, he says Kazi instead of Kiryu-chan. Alright, to Purgatory we go! But the road will not be easy, because this part gets pretty fucking annoying for one specific reason. During our attempt to get out of the hills, Majima decides it best to serve as bait, which means that we have to cover him, and they give you a sniper to do it. Cool. Nothing like aiming a sniper with a $70 PS5 controller I bought 1 year ago that already has drift on the right stick and has no aim assist in an engine that shouldn't support any of this gameplay in the fucking first place. So unfortunately for Nagoshi-sama, I had to cheat just a little bit. I know, he must be very disappointed. But nonetheless, it is an absolute horror session. Time to get this shit over with.
KIRYU-chan. わしな、ゾンビになってしもたかもしれん。
That was real? Holy fuck. Oh yeah, I forgot, man. Majima is suffering through Jobber's Law. Fuck, man, shit. No, dude. Fuck. Yeah, it's unfortunate. He goes from being saved by a jobber to getting bit. Oh, that's fucked up, man. But to his credit, Majima ain't no pussy about it, saying that if he does turn, then he fully expects us to kill him. I respect that shit, boy. Anyway, it's time to get through Purgatory. Down in Purgatory, we finally get the long-awaited answers we have been fucking striving for hard. Along with Akiyama. What the fuck? When did he show up? Inside the florist office, Kiryu finally gets caught up on this information we have been dwelling on for like 8 hours now. Florist finally reveals that Tetsuya Nikaido, a former member of the Omi Alliance's Go-Ryu clan, has been completely driven insane by revenge following the events of Yakuza 2. So, down on his luck, Nikaido decided to hire a mysterious scientist named DD to unleash a weaponized strain of experimental bacteria that happened to be found in Africa, which he uses to turn people into different fucking mutants. That sounds innovative. Nikaido's whole purpose is to rip the Tojo clan down on its hinges, using this weaponized strain. But not only that, he also wants to use it to destroy Kiryu Kazuma. But Nikaido's smart. He knows that Kiryu doesn't really give a shit about the Tojo clan since he's raising Haruka and his kids, so he decides to do the next best thing to get him involved once again. Yup. But, of course, as with every goddamn plot reveal in this game series, Kiryu and Akiyama are informed that BOWs are invading the sewers and are fast approaching Purgatory. Looks like both of us gotta defend this shit. But it's okay. Lucky for us though, this is one of the most tedious, annoying little missions in the game. Not hard, mind you, but definitely annoying. It's another great reason why I'm on New Game Plus. Fucking yeah, this isn't necessarily a bad area like I said, but I think it has that Ninja Gaiden 2 problem where it just has too many enemies. It's not a hard game by any means, but you gotta worry about shit so much. You see, this area in the sewers best suits what I am talking about in this situation. It's not necessarily that this game is hard by any means, but damn does it get annoying. There's so much little problems that just get in the way of a game that otherwise would honestly be pretty fun, but whatever. fucking, here's a cool ass Akiyama and Kiryu tandem blast. After killing off a number of zombies, Asagi appears to back us up. She wants both of us to secure the entire sewer, meaning we're gonna have to seal the upcoming entrance. But doing so will present a few challenges along the way. One of those being this flying fucker who descends upon us, following our sealing of the entrance. Now, what I am about to describe to you is possibly the worst boss in this entire game. This is Bazan. This is a flying mutant. Like we already haven't had enough trouble before. This motherfucker exposes the one problem with this game and my weakness, which is looking up. Yeah, huge shocker. To cut right to the chase, the way you kill this beast is by shooting the big red target in the middle of his chest, which is easier said than done. Remember what I said a moment ago about aiming with snipers in this game? Well, now you gotta shoot a man that flies around the entire fucking arena every 5 seconds. And boy, is it fun! Like I said with most things in this game, it's not hard as it is just incredibly annoying. It's like when my ad block has to eternally fight YouTube ads every 5 seconds when I launch my browser. But of course, since this challenge isn't already hard enough, the devs decide in their infinite wisdom to put even more shit in the arena, such as... oh god. Ugh, fucking terrible. Yeah guys, I'm actually Weenop, and this is now a Ninja Gaiden video. Welcome. But to be brutally honest with you, the goons in the arena aren't even really doing anything half the time because the AI does not know how to step around a fucking fence. Woo boy, there is so much wrong with this boss, and I can go on for an hour about this shit, but we got a girl to save, buddy. I cannot idle no longer. Fucker. Well, at least he's dead now. Jobber jump scare. That's right. From the decrepit, dirty shadows comes none other than fucking Daigo. I'm sorry guys, I got fucked up. He jump scared me because he's a jobber. Daigo tells us that he's been talking with the florist, saying that it's unfortunate that Haruka has been kidnapped, and he says that he wishes there was something he could do. Oh yeah. Oh, you certainly do, don't ya? Of course, as the leader of the most powerful Yakuza clan in Japan, Daigo comes to us as an errand boy, delivering information from the florist that there is a master gunsmith located here in Kamurocho, fronting as a prosthetic limb salesman. He will be the one that can give us some fucking Van Helsing Royal Order ass weapons that we will be able to kill Nikaido with. Daigo tells us that the gunsmith is located at the Kurogane building on Senryo Avenue, which you might know as the KJ Art Building from Judgment, and Sagawa's old office in Yakuza 0. Bet you didn't know that shit, huh? Now what's interesting compared to last time is that this time, since we're with Asagi, we get a fucking ride all the way there. Yes! Oh, I've prayed for days like this where I don't have to walk all the way back. Yes! However, as I have come to learn, with every blessing also comes a curse. And boy, is it a hell of a curse. This is the APC long battle. Now, obviously this is a reference to Yakuza 1, where you also had a similar thing to this. I don't like any of the vehicle sections in these games, but I've also learned that the only reason they continue to do stuff like this is because it is a nod to Yakuza 1. Because as I learned recently, this game was the final game to be on the PlayStation 2 engine, And the reason it was called Of the End is actually because it was the end of the PS2 era. Yeah, sure, Nagoshi. Totally. Whatever you say, man. Now look, I will admit to you, I love rail shooters. I love doing the rail shooter shit, but damn, I won't lie, this shit is clunky as fuck. Really, in every single Yakuza game, this is the most clunky bullshit ever. But it's not a big deal. At least there's no giant monkey that comes out. Oh, fucking come on, dude. Why? Alright, so here's where things just go down the fucking drain for this entire section. So here we have this dollar store ass Urang Guerrero from DMC2. He is now returned in his fucking, all of his cellular rock glory. He is here to obviously try and stop you while Asagi moves away all the debris to get onto Millennium Tower Street. However, he's not going to make it very easy for you as he starts throwing debris. Now, I just want to preface something. In order to not have him do any of this, you cannot have him damage the APC at all, and I will tell you why for a very good reason. But before I do, in order to stop him from doing any sort of damage, you have to be 100% accurate to stunlock him. You see, you can do two things. You can either shoot the projectile he's going to throw, or shoot him and stunlock him for a little bit while he restarts his animation. You have to be 100% accurate and hit 100% of your shots on his chest if you want to be successful in stunlocking him. If you don't, on hard mode, you will get fucked up really bad. It is annoying and disgusting how much bullshit is required in order to hit him correctly. It is almost like they looked at a similar game and said, wow, let's do that for the final part of this game, because RE5 was so good that they just had to do it. So, let's say you are remotely successful in finally stunlocking him every single time. You clear all the debris, you finally drive across the goddamn to get to the goddamn. But then, another problem arises. Now this motherfucker is chasing you. Not only did he eat a super Cheerio to get all of his health back, but now you've got an even bigger problem. And I mean big problem. Holy shit. Oh yeah, buddy. If you miss one shot on his chest, and I mean a couple maybe, at least, he will fuck you up. You have to stunlock him 100%. And if he shoulders your car twice, then it's over. And guess what? You have to go all the way back and restart the entire goddamn thing. Buddy, I sound like I'm in a fucking nerd video. What were they thinking? Now look, man, I hate to be that guy, but holy, this is the worst part of the game right here. For no reason than literally 2 shoulder blocks to the APC, and it's over. Like, what the fuck? This is hard mode. This is the mode above normal. I didn't want to spend the entire video bitching. I didn't want to go Dead Souls difficulty. Oh, but dude, imagine what it's like on harder difficulties. Does he fucking... What the fuck? I imagine he puts his pinky on the car and you just restart the entire game. You go back to the beginning. Not even Kiryu's chapter, just Akiyama. No, nothing. Fuck me, man. But yeah, I'm exaggerating a little. But yeah, legit, 6 blocks and it's over. You have to be 100% accurate. Man, fuck this shit. I don't got time for this. God damn it. You know, man, I don't want to do this anymore. This video sucks, dude. I can't believe this. I'm just gonna give up. This video's done, man. Is what I would say if I didn't record the finale before this part. Oh, guess what cutscene I have before this? Woo! All right, let's do this.
どなたかいらっしゃいます？
現れよったな。
Several years after that Christmas night on 2006, Kiryu and Ryuji finally meet each other once again, and they're chilling out in a prosthesis shop. Yeah, they're friends now. Yay! In the prosthesis shop, everybody meets up with each other. Asagi here questions the beef between Kiryu and Ryuji. Ryuji explains that after their fight to see who was the real dragon, the bomb planted by Terada ended up taking his arm, which officially put his foolish ambitions to rest. Wait, that bomb was real? What? I thought it was fake. How did Kiryu escape then? But similarly how he told Nikaido, he retorts once again that he lost, fair and square, officially putting that life to rest. He does give a little bit of a vague backstory, but like I said, it's all vague. Yeah, this is peak Yakuza writing right here, actually. During this conversation, the florist officially calls Kiryu to make it known that Nikaido is indeed hiding out in the Millennium Tower. Like I just couldn't figure that out. We've looked in every place in Kamurocho. Where could this guy be? Oh! It seems it is time to go up to the Millennium Tower now that we know. But before we go, the gunsmith has one thing left to give us. Holy, dude.
これって。
お役に立ちますか。ああ。私の方のお題は登場会につけさせていただきます。踏んだくってやってくれ。
いよいよね。
アサギ、お前はここに残るんだ。こっから先はな、わしらの戦いなんや。
でも、
桐生、足引っ張んなよ。行くぜ。
Welcome to Hell, otherwise known as 15 FPS. Yup, this long battle is rather infamous for being so unoptimized that it is utterly unplayable. But I won't lie, if this ain't the hardest shit ever. I don't know why, but the sight of two 40-year-old men killing monsters the size of a fucking garbage truck it does something to me that I cannot describe. Although I must say, this motherfucker, the devil, made good on his word to try and stop me, because he sends the whole school of his acolytes against me. Everything from big men to little men as well, all in an attempt to destroy not only Kiryu and Ryuji, but my PS3 as well. Yeah, big mistake, buddy. Bob has way more juice and genuinely runs better than my PS5. You're gonna have to try a little harder than that, bitch. As tradition, Our final battle lies within the iconic Millennium Tower, and as usual, it's fucking awesome. As per usual though, Nikaido's made it quite tough to ascend the tower. Later games like 6 and 7 would flesh out the tower way more, but this part is still pretty beast despite its very small usage of rooms. Despite the fact that the gameplay is extremely arduous and downright boring at times, there's always something special about a Millennium Tower long battle. It's kinda a weird thing. You'd think since there's been so many raids on the Millennium Tower it'd get really fucking boring, but god damn! I don't know what it is, but it is really special seeing Kiryu and one of his greatest rivals rip these motherfuckers apart. Reminds me of Christmas, when I get that toy. We also get to see the aesthetics of the tower, including various normal rooms like a piano room, a restaurant, a bar, a fucking cloning room. Yeah, the usual. It's pretty nice to see this stuff fleshed out. Although it's a damn shame we never see the specific floor of the tower ever again. That's pretty fucked up, but I digress. Anyway, here's the Majima family, who totally look like some Majima family material and not some Unreal NPC models or anything like that. No. They order us to do some good old backtracking and find a notebook that contains a passcode for a safe. Inside are some keys that will lead us to the event room. Yeah, dude. We're totally gonna show that backtracking, by the way. Fucking Jarvis, jerk it a little. Now, you might be asking to yourself, why the fuck is Kiryu and Ryuji going to the event space? Well, I'll tell you, Rickert. It's so we can deal with a little friend of ours that you might remember from Yakuza 1 and 2. Oh yeah.
Hayashi. やつは普通やないで、桐生。普通じゃねえのはこっちもだ。そうやったわ。
Genuinely the hardest shit I've ever heard. Anyway. Here is what they call the Itsuki prototype. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this is probably the most peak boss design in the entire fucking video game, called Yakuza Dead Souls. Mostly just because of the fact of how much girth this boss has in and of itself. Think about it, everything from the little theme, to the set design, to Hayashi's mutant design by himself, he looks pretty cool. He looks like he'd actually fit in some other zombie game that isn't called this fucking game. But unfortunately, while the frosting is great, the cake fucking sucks. And I'll tell you why. First things first, the fucking FPS on this map is dog shit. This is probably the worst FPS in terms of a boss fight. This right here is probably the worst FPS for a boss fight ever. Not necessarily as bad as the Onmaraki, but for the sole fact that it persists and lingers throughout the entire boss fight. It is disgusting. But otherwise, it's a pretty fun fight. His first little phase is just him running around, constantly getting to your blind side and attacking Ryuji. As is typical with every single boss in this game, Hayashi too has a weak point. This time it's located on his backside. You know what you gotta do. You gotta give him those demonic anti-tank backshots. And boy do I. Naturally, after committing to the backshots, he then proceeds to grab a fucking row of grenades next to Garlic because, of course, naturally in an event center, there's just grenades next to Garlic. Yup. So now his gimmick will be to throw grenades around. Not only do you have to cover your blind spots because of how fast this dude is, but now you also have to avoid grenades while trying to get those devious, demonic backshots. Ooh, pretty hardcore shit. Then, once you do all that, and he runs out of grenades, then he resorts to fucking ripping Ryuji Goda's arm off and using it as a weapon. Now that is some really cool shit. Unfortunately, he's a little challenged, and unfortunately just stands there while you give him some backshots. Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, this AI is a different kind of breed, let's just say that. But hey, it's a cool idea, like I said. Also, how he triggers the mechanism to fire is beyond me, but hey, he's a mutant, so I won't question it. But anyway, on the surface, like I said, this boss fight is fucking awesome, but damn, is it highly limited by not only the obvious frame rate issues, but also this stank-ass gameplay system. I think this boss fight really would have benefited greatly if the combat system was just not complete ass. Even on hard mode, this shit is absolutely baby mode. But nonetheless, like I said, it's one of the coolest boss fights in the game. My overall consensus, another badass Hayashi fight. And it's also the last one that we'll ever see in the series up until technically Kiwami 2. But of course, chronologically, it's the last one we'll ever see. After his defeat, for whatever reason, Hayashi feels fucking great after losing. He must have that Halo coping mechanism. We get a flashback to when Hayashi was originally indoctrinated by DD, where despite his grievances, he was one of the first Omi Rengos to be used as a mutant, getting injected right into the neck and is forced to serve the nasty hand. Being one of the first soldiers to rest Kamurocho's weary eyes to rest, and turned it into the living nightmare we know now, becoming the first proprietor for the end. You see what I did there? No? Oh, that's okay. Anyways, following this cutscene, for whatever reason, Hayashi just loves dying. He loves dying so much that he ends up fucking cummering before croaking to death. But as per usual, our heroes have no time to grief, getting immediately swarmed by another horde. Buddy, didn't we just block these guys from coming in? Man, whatever. Fucking... Well, after getting Nikaido's strongest soldier and some more of his goons out the way, I think it's officially safe to go up and deal with this son of a bitch Nikaido. And after blocking some of the fire exits, we can finally end this shit once and for all. Finally ascending to the top of the tower, Kiryu and Ryuji finally meet with Tetsuya Nikaido, who is holding Haruka hostage. Oh, brother. Upon opening his mouth, we see that Nikaido is probably one of the blandest and straight up most boring Yakuza villains I've ever seen. Buddy, just give me the fucking girl.
Ore, Ochan doko iki?
Wow, who could have seen that shit coming, huh? Well, once Nikaido finally decides to free Haruka, as he's sending her towards us, he 6'2" digs on us. Or should I say...
もう大丈夫だ、はるか。よく頑張ったな。二階堂、てめえは言葉で言ってわかるやつじゃねえ。それに俺ももう言葉で済ますつもりはねえ。
Well, unsurprisingly, Nikaido sends his little goons after us instead of doing something himself. This is good old Kinro and Ginro. This is the final form of the Arahabaki prototype. Two brothers that are ready to fucking eat. They obviously differ from previous versions of the Arahabaki prototype. The most notable is that now they have more hair and, oh, look at that, one's yellow now. Yay, that's just like my brother, Yellow Rogus, look at that. But don't worry, if you thought fighting the Arahabaki was fun at first, you just wait for these two, because they have a lot of new tricks up their sleeve. And if you're wondering what these tricks do, I'm the man to tell you, don't worry. While they still retain the old stomach shots as per usual, this time each of them have a very interesting ability. For example, one of them can vomit out metallic fucking venom, and the other spits out fire. Very cool. Sadly, much like we literally saw moments ago, this game's AI fucking sucks, making this boss fight absolutely trivial and utterly easy. Sorry boys, I wish I could get more footage, but at least I got this cool cutscene that I triggered. Well, after getting utterly defeated, Nikaido is pretty quick to admit his loss. Yeah, this dude tries making a bit of a one-dimensional speech about how he tried so hard and, you know, yeah, I don't even remember what he says. I literally have the video on my second monitor. I don't even give a fuck. I really don't care. Pretty shallow stuff, but hey, at least this game can end pretty quick. Yup. What the fuck is even happening anymore? Help. Alright, well, finally, it's time for things to get a little more interesting because this motherfucker DD finally opens his damn mouth. DD explains that his mutant drug, which is called Thanatos, is a stimulant that spreads throughout the entire body, even the bodily fluids. This causes the host's endorphin emitters to go into overdrive, flooding your brain with morphine like a fucking perk 30, which would explain why everybody fucking comes right before they die with Thanatos turning into a zombie. He explains that thanks to the data over the past few days, he has allowed Thanatos to evolve creatures into even more fucked up beings, and said that it's now allowed Nikaido to take on the latest batch of Thanatos. Oh wow, great. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh wow, that's exciting, dude. Yeah, so here's Nikaido. I know, I'm not very excited to talk about this guy because he is extremely bland. You know, I had a whole script for this guy laid out, but honestly, dude, I don't even care. I'm just gonna go at it raw, I guess, because damn, this guy sucks. As far as being a villain goes, Nikaido's probably one of the most uninteresting ass characters in this game, but before I get to that, let's go ahead and talk about his boss fight. Much like Hayashi, Nikaido here has about 16 different phases to go through in about 2 minutes, so it's gonna be a little tight to talk about some of these, but regardless. His first phase involves him fucking zip-zooming around the entire arena like Sonic until you catch him, in which he fires off... Oh, what is he... Hold on. First of all, he zip-zooms around the entire fucking arena, shooting... I guess he has guns? Shooting some type of fucking fire guns that he has, but I digress. But don't worry, we are just getting started, because this motherfucker proceeds... I can't even make this next part up. He proceeds to spawn other beings with his blood. And while he turns himself into blood clones, he also turns into his heart and moves around the arena while invisible. Of course, his entire body is invisible except his heart, which you have to actually shoot to reveal him, which you can then shoot. It's kind of like that one boss from Demon Souls. I don't know. Literally after one go, I fucking destroy this guy. I don't even know what to say at this point. Like the AI is cool. There's a lot of great ideas here. But Jesus, this AI sucks. It is really terrible. I really wish it was better so I can get more footage. I'm literally just gonna have to loop it to talk about Nikaido here. I gotta be honest with you, I had a whole script about this guy, but I don't know, dude. There's not really much to say. He is about as bland as you can possibly get with a Yakuza villain. Dare I say the blandest. Although I will say the Bland Olympics are stacked pretty well when it comes to the Yakuza series and their final bosses. Holy shit. Especially this era in time. You got this guy, Munakata from Yakuza 4, Iwami from Yakuza 6, You got a lot of these bastards around here. Now I know how my student Weenop felt when playing Ninja Gaiden 3. I guess my biggest problem with Nikaido is... it's decent. Like, it's not that this guy isn't cool. He's just fucking really bland, which sucks. Because obviously you need a good villain, especially for this fucking game. I would have been fine if Didi was just the villain for this game. At least he actually has an interesting look and somewhat of a weird charisma to him. But otherwise, like, to be honest, this motherfucker is just agonizingly mediocre at best. He's not really anything special, and it really shows through his dialogue. Yeah, no, I don't know what else to say. He's just bland as fuck. He reminds me a lot of Singularity from Bayonetta 3. Like, the event is more interesting than the guy himself, which should honestly be on par with both, but I don't know. Fuck this stupid guy. Let's just get to the end.
Oi, Kiryu.
Oh, that's real nice.
Kiryu, お嬢ちゃんは無事。Kiryu、鉄を二階堂を止めたってくれ。
Oh boy, how exciting. A fucking BFB! That's right. Y'all remember? It was over 4 years ago on the boss ranking we established big fucking boss fights. And it is back and better than ever in true fashion, with not just this video but Yaiba too. But, you know, I've never really taken the time to talk about why I hate big fucking bosses so much. I've mostly spouted a lot of drivel. See, most BFBs are usually plotting, drawn out, and damn near banal. However, I'm not completely against it. There are times when BFBs obviously work in a video game, but for me it heavily depends on a number of factors. Factors like challenge, the use of techniques that you've grinded in the game. You see, if a BFB is overly gimmicky like the Savior, then in my opinion it pisses on everything you've grinded to learn. With all this being said, I actually love the Uikazuchi a lot, to be honest with you. While I think the boss is a little clunky, I still think it's great. Only because it doesn't really waste any time, and it's mostly in a game that, let's be honest, you use like 3 buttons in. It certainly ain't no damn fighting game, meaning you do about a total of 15 button inputs, unlike a certain boss that smells like the city of France. Yay! It is quite literally cinema, and if you don't agree with me, watch this shit, buddy.
The endだ。
You know, I'ma just let the rest of this cutscene play, but only the fucking best part.
KIRYU KAZUMA 二階堂が君にご出身だったのもわかる気がするよ。
くさげいいんだ。アホ抜かせ。奴をやるのは俺たちの役目じゃない。ああ。あ。おい、どうなってるんだ。バカな。似合いの最後やな。
Aura! Oh! Aura! Well guys, I guess that's it. That was Yakuza Dead Souls, everybody. It was a pretty fucked up and freaky journey, but I'm glad we're finally here at the end, so I can give my overall review. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys will be expecting me to hate this game because of the fucking horrible grinding and horrible simplistic gameplay, but I lied! I actually love this game a lot. Now, like I said, despite all of its issues, the fact that I played this on a native PS3, which was dumb from certain levels, I still really appreciate this game. Because above all other zombie games that came out around this period, and really any game that tried to insert zombies into it, I think this game does something that not a lot of them, maybe like 50-60% of them ended up doing. And that's that this game just has soul. Like, I don't know about you guys, but despite the fucking horrific amount of changes they did from the beat 'em up to this, but weirdly enough, everything that happens in this game just honestly feels like it was supposed to, and the voice actors do an incredible, unnecessary amount of work to make you believe as much. It's just really odd for a game like this, but I think that's what makes this game so great, especially compared to things like Yaiba. But I don't know, like I said, I think this game just farms so much damn aura, we might as well be in fucking Jamaica right now, brother. Let me tell you what. Okay, hey man, enemies come rag, man. Hey, Fry, what are we doing today? But with the comparisons I made earlier, it's honestly just true. With those fucking dirty brown gloves. They suck, but after a while your hands just kinda get calloused, and honestly you just get used to it. A lot of people led me to believe that this game fucking sucks, but honestly, I still thought it was really fun. Because of, like I said, the fact that it just has that raw fucking aura. Not to mention that it has literally 4 of the most Giga Chad ass characters in the entire series, and the fact that it just, I don't know. I think I'm just really fucking weird. You guys think that? I mean, when you look at me, I'm just a normal guy. You know, I don't think there's any weird or ugly features on me, you know what you know. But of course, as much as I like it, I don't really think anybody else did. Because as I said at the beginning of this video, this game ended up being such a whiplash effect from the beat 'em up games and just an overall fucking terrible $60 product that this game ended up destroying the series in the West. I'm talking no more localization. Sega completely cut it off to the point where games like Ishin, Kuroyo 2, they were all completely released in Japan, China, and Korea. No United States. It was a pretty fucked up world that we live in, man. But honestly, what you might not know is that this game actually almost killed the series in Japan as well. I don't have too much to prove it except for really one thing, and that is a clip from an interview from Yakuza 5's development in 2012 with an interview with one Takaya Kuroda, who mysteriously sounds a lot like Kiryu Kazuma. This guy must be his brother or something. During this interview, Kuroda said a very interesting thing about Yakuza 5 that I'll just play for you. In a video that was nicely translated by the channel Dragon Enterprise, which... Please come back, please, please, no.
オブジェエンドで終わられたら困るんで、竜が如く5がやっぱりあるって聞いた時にはとても嬉しかったです。
Now, you know, if this motherfucker is concerned about the series following Dead Souls, you can just imagine the reaction behind the scenes to Dead Souls' performance. However, what I'm about to tell you is honestly, Dead Souls by itself wasn't even the main cause for the Yakuza series to stop being localized. That's right, bud. I've done some research, and I'm about to drop a whole fucking bomb on you. Honestly, while Dead Souls' release was pretty bad, it wasn't the game itself that actually made the series not be localized by Atlus and Sega in the United States. It was actually much bigger than you think. One of the reasons that Dead Souls didn't really do well is just because the Japanese industry was not doing very well around this point in time. Weena touched a lot on this in the Yaiba video, so I won't go too in depth, but Sega was also feeling the effects really hard. While I was researching for this video, I found a financial report from 2010 from Sega that actually shows a lot of things that brought clarity to my fucking mind. In this report, Sega was already mentioning not localizing most games in the West due to their poor home console performance in the West. This brings more with a graph that shows that there was an 8-point drop from 2010 to 2011 in unit sales by millions. Dead Souls was, by all extent, the final nail in the coffin for Sega to go ahead and tell Atlus USA and Sega to stop localizing the games. It was truly fucked up back in the day, man. And to be directly honest with you, I think the only reason that Yakuza didn't die after this was probably because of the fact that Nagoshi-sama was already being groomed during this time to be the new CEO for Sega. And of course, we all know what happened when Nagoshi was finally given the position in 2021. Oh, he fucking wiped his ass with that NetEase money. What? I wonder how that's doing for him right now. I wonder how that's doing for him, huh? But before I go, there is one more thing I want to talk about. Something that I think everyone expects me to. And that is if this game is going to get a remaster or will always be forgotten by RGG. Now, if you want the short answer, I don't know. But if you want the truth and the long answer, maybe. I don't know. Look, here's the thing about this game. While it is a good game and obviously I know it would do well, Masayoshi Yokoyama, the current series director for the Yakuza series, has said before that Dead Souls is just not profitable enough, which personally I don't fucking believe. I think he's a liar. You know, honestly, I was gonna make this whole diatribe about how every Japanese game that released during this time probably won't ever get a remake because of how bad business was, and how Japanese companies hate re-releasing or even thinking about games that did terrible business for them. But honestly, a game that was announced recently that disproved this theory was actually Raito Remastered. Yeah, this is a game that got announced not too long ago, and for those who don't know, did terrible fucking business in the United States. Even that game got a remaster. So honestly, I can't really say if it'll ever do it. Personally, I think it's just not worth the risk/reward factor. If you look at Yakuza Ishin, which released over, I don't know, 2 years ago by this point, that remake did pretty well, but it didn't really do any big numbers for them. So honestly, I don't know if they ever will. It's definitely not a safe bet for them, but I also think the game has enough aura and hype moments that I think it might get a fair shake. I don't really know though. Sometimes RGG does things that surprise me, and sometimes they don't do anything. So I'll say never say never. I have hope and I have positivity. My name is fucking Hapygourious after all, man. But you know what? Speaking of positivity, I want to end this video on a good note. It'd be a shame for me to go out like a goddamn big ass trumpet, Stewie Griffin walking, Peter Griffin doing something, you know, it's just a shame, okay? While this game may be the redheaded bastard stepchild of the series, obviously after Dead Souls failed commercially and disappointed critically, albeit didn't completely bomb, RGG basically decided to restructure their entire company from the ground up following this game's release. Now, most of these changes were not too crazy, except for one in particular, which might be known by a lot of people here. That being the promotion of one Masayoshi Yokoyama, the current series director for the Like a Dragon games, who would not only be promoted from a scriptwriter, but was also promoted to a director for Yakuza 5, which in my opinion explains a lot. Because following this change, RGG basically decided that it was time to start dropping bi-yearly fucking bangers, shooting out classic after classic after classic, and would finally make their mark following a game that would not only benchmark RGG as the premier character action fucking beat 'em up hack and slash fucking pirate series in Japan, but also would make its way into America, perform so well that it shocked RGG and other developers, not only at SEGA, in Japan, China, everywhere. A game with such a rich, diverse number of mechanics and mini-games that it toppled review sites, causing them to crash. A game so groundbreaking, toppling the charts in a year stacked with American, European, and Japanese games alike. A game with such a cacophony of rich, top-tier protagonists, an insane soundtrack, a gripping, telenovela-ass storyline that it will melt your eyes. Of course, I am talking about Hokuto ga Gotoku, baby. Fist of the North Star. Lost fucking Paradise. I guess there was Yakuza